Hello, family, friends, fans, and fellow adventurers. Welcome back to Practical Heroes with our brand new campaign, the Sands of Syldaris, where I will now, finally, reveal the brand new intro music. Boom. Welcome back. This is, of course, set in the homebrew world of Erroth. This is our brand new flagship campaign, set a somewhat short period of time after Immortals, as you will soon find out. We are using most of the 1D&D rules. We've been using the rules glossary. We're not yet using the classes rules because they haven't revealed all the classes and we've got a mix. So we don't want an unfair power balance in this party because that would suck. But here we are. I'm stalling because I forgot to open things that I need open because I'm real clever. But for those of you who don't know and haven't been to the world of Erroth before, welcome. There are some interesting features that make it somewhat different from other worlds, is the hope. Mostly the fact that the planes are sealed, so planar travel isn't really a thing, and people who talk about those sorts of things are considered heretics, and are generally locked away for being crazy. But that doesn't mean we can't have summoning or teleportation or anything fun like that. I do still allow those sorts of magic tricks, and we're yet to see what happens when someone attempts to plane shift. But summoning is allowed and not particularly frowned upon. It's just viewed more as even though it is a conjuration, it's still viewed with somewhat transmutation vibes in terms of you're offering up these materials that then are offered up in exchange for this creature or this elemental or whatever it is that you are summoning. Then, of course, the other big thing in my world is the War of the Gods, which rages overhead between the Divine Council and the Council of the Fallen Lords. There is, of course, massive fallout from gods literally fighting each other, and this is taking form in Erroth in the form of cracks and splits and rifts across the world, most notably the Crossing Point, which is a large, seemingly bottomless drop to nothingness, which splits the world into 3 gulfs, as they have come to be known. Anyone who's ever tried to venture into the Crossing Point to do some exploring has never returned. But maybe we can lure these idiots in this campaign. But what the idiots didn't know is that this whole time when I'm on the intro screen, you guys can't actually hear them. So, mostly because I don't think I've ever actually told them that. So it's all good. But why don't we switch over so you can see everyone and finally reveal some of the awesome character art that we have, courtesy of Rachel. Actually, no, I don't want to drop her full name, just in case. But she is O of Chorus art. I was about to, because I think she has it on a few things. I think she actually has her full name on a lot of her stuff, but I didn't want to do it just in case. But she is O of Chorus art, That is her usual tag. It's always either O of Chorus or O of Chorus Art. And she does real awesome, really cute little arts for super cheap and super fast, and it's incredible because she's also like at college at the same time. But let's stop rambling and do the reveal and bring the people in. Hello, people.
Hi.
People are on screen now.
Hello.
Can I just say for the record that I said a lot of funny things when I couldn't be heard there? Thank you.
Yeah,
He did.
It's true.
He really
we were
did.
all.
Yeah, we've really used up all of our humor prior to being heard, actually.
Yeah, it's really a shame for everybody.
But especially
Get in now. Thanks.
I did it on purpose just so that
Silencing.
everyone watching would think I'm the only funny one.
nobody thinks you're the funny one.
And now they know Steph's the mean one.
Nobody thinks I'm the mean one.
These are our players and characters that you have met over the past 2 weeks, as we have done 2 very special intro one-shots to bring characters together, to have some interaction before they're brought together as a party. And there is a brief time skip after those one-shots. But without further ado, it is, of course, the 15th of Calthor, the Claw of Storms, as this month is also known. It is the 4050th year of the Second Era. 50 years, of course, have now passed since multiple groups of adventurers assembled to repel the threat of the 7 darkest immortals in their attempts to have the gods answer for their excuse me if I don't stumble over my words. Answer for their betrayal in creating the immortals to fight wars on their behalf before deciding they were too dangerous to keep around and locking them away for what was supposed to be an eternity. But an unnamed group was successful in defeating these immortals, and the names of those individuals have somewhat passed into mere murmur and rumour. And we come now to the continent of Azith, one of 3 major continents of the world of Erroth, separated from the others by the mighty rift. Mighty Rift is very different. The mighty rift, known only as the crossing point, which divides the world, created by the war of the gods which rages overhead. More specifically, we come to the Sleeping Gardens, a moniker which denotes the lower third region of Azith, characterized as such by the dominating forestry, the swampland and the marshland, which spans much of the province, governed for the most part by the laws and holdings of the mighty kingdom of Dura, which rose up in defiance of the Zeroth dynasty, which hailed from Thistlewood, and commands much of the rest of Azith, save for the self-governed, self-titled free cities. We start, however, not in Dura, the capital of the Sleeping Gardens, as a slight mist hangs on the crisp morning air, as the warm air connects with the remnants of the previous night's storms, and shafts of light are peering through the haze as the now mostly risen sun shines brightly, casting a nice yellow glow over the blue-hued, I can't talk today,
Quit your day job.
a yellow glow over the blue-hued second moon of Race, still high in the sky as it is so often visible in the early mornings. Chester and Warden, you, a new pair of adventurers, have come together after a brief foray into potential recruitment by the Midnight Blade, a guild of hunters and protectors who journey primarily throughout the Sleeping Gardens, keeping its inhabitants safe from the many varied threats which linger in the forests. Having hunted the owlbear, you were sent on a further mission to prove yourselves to the guild, that is, if you even still wish to join. Alas, you probably didn't have much better to do, and almost as if some omnipotent force was pushing you down this path, you agreed to make your way to the town of Belcrest to assist in the ritual which is performed to ward away evil spirits from the town. Mura and Linga, you, having discovered a previously believed haunted forest, was in fact haunted by no other than simply a rather stuck, rather irate Linga, in addition to a group of robed individuals doing something with a hastily constructed sigil and a strangely dragon egg-shaped crystal. And you've heard yet more rumours of haunted locations and come to investigate the possibility that more hopelessly trapped individuals may be responsible for said rumours, leading you to the town of Belcrest. How convenient.
Weird.
Having been in town for a few days now, you're starting to suspect that they may only be rumours, but you have begun to see townsfolk preparing various objects and various items in order to perform some sort of ritual. As another morning rolls around, the pair of you are drawn to the streets out of the humble inn inside which you've been staying by the sound of a loud commotion. Warden and Chester, as you near the edge of Belcrest, you can see a small group of townsfolk seem to be running away from what appears to be a rather large column of billowing smoke. And with that, what would you all like to do?
Oh, wow. It's
So,
a lot of things.
is the column of smoke moving, or is it like...
Kind of billowing upwards as smoke is wont to do. But other
But
than
people
that,
are
it's a
running
pretty
away from it.
stationary column of smoke.
Hmm.
I think Chester would look to his new good friend Warden. Warden, I do believe we should head towards the smoke. And you know what? Keep your eyes peeled for goats. Because if they're sacrificing goats, that's some bad mojo.
I do not see why they would be running away from goats.
I met some nasty goats in my time. I tell you, you ever look in a goat's eye?
No.
Evil.
Warden will stand up and head over that way.
You start heading towards the billowing smoke and fleeing townspeople. What are...
Can I just like grab one of them?
Yeah, sure.
Grab. What are you doing?
Can I
As
grab
one of
a
them's like
handful?
running past, you just snag an arm.
Yep. What is going on over there?
You've kind of grabbed hold of what seems to be rather young, kind of 20s-ish human, with kind of like hair down to like the tips of his ears, kind of long blonde hair, little kind of like blonde goatee, the moustache kind of curls up at the tips a little bit. It's not the Green Arrow.
Damn it.
But as you kind of grab hold of him, you just, they're burning things, we're getting away, they're talking about humans now, we're running, it's bad.
I'll just like let go of him.
Cool.
At least we're not humans.
Yeah, it's really fine.
I've heard enough.
All right. Well, I guess after we're drawn outside inexplicably by this commotion, as people are wont to do. Oh, they're screaming. We should investigate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mira's just like, wow, that's a lot of smoke.
It does seem to be an unreasonable amount. We should probably make sure they've not completely messed up whatever their little ritual is. I suspect they have.
Do you think it's like, oh, you're just really bad at your job? Because those guys
Very
that we met
likely.
in the forest?
That is very likely. I'm going to go with that assumption for now, that they've messed
People
up their
are
own
so-
thing.
People are so bad at their jobs.
They really are.
The amount of sass from Linger about people doing magic.
Right?
Bad magic, yes.
Mira's just like, I agree. Everyone sucks.
Great. Yeah,
You,
we'll snap our spell book closed because obviously she's taking notes the entire
Of
time.
course.
Puts it in her holster, wraps her tail around the book. Rip, of course, is probably. Are you okay with Rip being on you randomly?
Yeah.
On Mira? Okay.
She probably doesn't even notice, honestly.
Yeah.
The amount of crap that she's got on and in her hair and stuff. She's just like,
All right. He's gonna pop up on one side of Mira's head, still trying to covertly eat that pomegranate.
I love him, Your Honor. Oh my god.
Dart across your head, grab hold of the antler, do a little flip around, and then flip over onto Linger's shoulder.
That was pretty amazing.
Damn,
It's a good one, Rip.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I love him.
I love him.
And he scampers up to Linger's horns and takes his usual loungy spot. And then we'll clap his hands together and point towards the column of smoke, as though this was his whole idea for us to go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Let's go. Let us adventure to this column of smoke.
It's not a DM forcing you to do this, it's Rip.
It's all right.
It's
It's
100%
all
Rip.
Rip. Rip's the only
The
one.
undead ratatouille.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's just pulling on Mira's hair for this sake of. Or he flipped out, but anyway.
Yeah, before that he was. Linger can't see him, so she has no idea what he's doing unless she's focused.
as Mura and Linger make their way over, the pair of you can hear kind of drifting over the tops of the screaming and the shouting and the people running away. You can hear this male voice just, "Please, there is no need to panic. Clearly the spirits have been angered. Our offerings are not good enough. And so it must come to this. Panic will only worsen the spirits. They dislike discordance and disharmony. Please, we do not want to anger the god of greed further."
Well, I think we've discovered the issue. I believe they're being bamboozled.
Do I know who the god of greed is? I very hilariously
Religion
roll.
check.
I'd love to.
You keep
Yeah,
rolling
we all-
hilariously high on religion.
Shall we all?
Sure, you can do if you want. And I'll say it's
Okay.
as Chester and Warden are kind of entering the town, they do hear this as well.
I got a 12.
Also, feel free to use the Roll20 rolling now that we have our rolls on screen.
How?
That's what I was
How?
for you to do.
I was using
Ow.
the game log.
How do I
That
do
is-
this?
Or the Beyond 20 extension should put them into the Roll20 chat.
Really?
I mean, I have to get on.
Yeah, same.
Chrome.
But yeah, so what was everyone's religion checks?
12.
13.
19 plus
Wait, you got
18.
What'd you get, Badger?
18.
18,
Ooh.
and Linga got 19, did you say, or 17?
17.
17. Cool. So, I mean, even with a 12, it's pretty common knowledge to know the basics of the Divine Council and the Fallen Lords. And obviously everyone knows that there's 8 gods on the Divine Council, and everyone knows that mirroring that are 8 gods on the Council of the Fallen Lords, which are generally believed to be the evil boys, one of which is Tumdar, the god of greed, who generally not a cool dude. People who follow him, generally not cool dudes.
Was this one of the 7 darkest? No.
No, it was
No,
Booker.
no.
Oh, okay.
I was sitting here waiting. I was like,
He
we
was
better not go.
avarice, not to be confused with greed. Different sin.
Yeah.
However, I'll
Similar
say
but different, yes.
Warden and Linga, because you rolled so well. Let me double check. Was it Tumdar or was it Trebel? I'm getting my own gods mixed up.
Wow, Mitch.
I know, right? Let's have a quick look. Just want to double check. I think it is actually Trebel, not Tumdar. Yes, my bad. But yes, Tumdar is the god of greed. You two would probably know. Generally, when people report kind of having seen Tumdar or received visions of him, he generally takes the shape of a large rampaging boar whose hunger can never be sated. And it's just general bad vibes surrounding him. A lot of his worship is a lot of making offerings of food and wealth, and anything you own, Tumdar owns. It's our stuff.
Perhaps if everyone gives me all the gold, we can appease him with it. He will disappear forever. Couldn't wait.
I'm so... Mira's like, bing bong, bing bong.
Alarm bells.
So what are we seeing currently?
So what you're seeing is a whole group of townspeople running around, and
Like
some
lemmings,
seem
just-
to be kind of stopping and listening to this man. But you can see Mura and Linga definitely can. Chester and Warden possibly a bit harder, with people still kind of running all around you, but you can see this kind of hastily constructed pyre that has been somewhat haphazardly set on fire, possibly earlier than expected or wanted. And there seem to be kind of 4 individuals on this raised platform that the pyre was built on. There doesn't seem to be anyone actually on the pyre or anything on the pyre, just wood burning. And this figure kind of stood in front of the pyre with a long red cloak, kind of like long black hair, and you can see one side of it's just a little bit singed.
Poquito.
And they're just kind of wearing normal, kind of commoner clothes, not too dissimilar from everyone else in town.
And Burning Man this year sucked.
Well, obviously, the hastily constructed fire and the hastily, haphazardly thrown together stuff is all that Linger needs to know what is going wrong here, and it's poor workmanship.
Yet again.
Point proven. Let's I guess. Should we try to calm the citizens down, or I think the fire is fine. It's just going to burn itself out probably 2-3 minutes with the way they stacked it. No one's close enough to get burned. I really don't understand what's hubbub? Is that how
That
you would
is
describe
that's
this?
a word.
Yes.
She's not wrong.
Yep.
Go Mira.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely a word I've heard before. For sure.
Yeah, I think Chester would start working his way towards them, hand outstretched. Hey, Chester Fields, pleased to meet you. What do we have going on here?
Oh, hi, I'm Mura. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, you as well, you as well. Seems like a bit of a hubbub. I'm not sure if that's a word. I'm pretty sure it is.
That is what I was just saying. This is a hubbub.
Ah.
Definitely seems like a hubbub to me.
All right, well, I don't mind intervening in a hubbub.
How tall is Chesterfield's?
6'9".
I was so
Nice. Shall we, if you're all now interacting with each other, do the rounds and describe what everyone looks like? Because it's nice to on the first session. Also, do remember you have control over your tokens, because...
We're not on the map yet.
Yeah,
wanted to
we're
let
not.
You know that.
you're not. That's
was
why you
just
haven't
waiting.
been moving yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's
And,
the
I
map.
did
That's why I was like, I mean, you should know what you're seeing.
I did a test roll there too, and it didn't show up in the thing.
It should
Let me
be.
do one too.
I could just see your test roll, but not my test
Hold
roll.
on. I'll test roll something.
Did that persuasion check?
That was just a test.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was to.
Mine showed up.
Huh. What have
Did
I
it
not
show up
done?
on the stream though?
Yes, it just needs some adjusting because this is new
There you go. That's
and
it.
it's showing up weirdly.
No, mine's not. It's just me. I get to be the
I
problem.
went through.
I didn't see Chester's either. Oh, there it is. I see Warden's. Oh, I see Chester's. Okay, never mind.
Cool.
Never whisper. Normal rolls. Send them. Yep.
Test out my
I changed my
massive
dice on roll
persuasion
20.
there.
Run D&D Beyond.
What'd you say?
Huh.
No, it's nothing. Nothing important.
That's not true.
Everything you say is important.
Yeah.
Aw, shucks, guys.
Well, Lindsay said it. I just agreed.
Just like Mira and Linger.
Yeah.
Get that dynamic. Keep it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what is happening with this.
Please like features and traits.
Just OBS in general today.
OBS had giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so stuff's not showing up properly because adjusting in OBS is freaking out today.
Well, we'll just have to call out our rolls then, I guess.
In the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Well, we'll just restart the scene with Linger looking all the way up at Chesterfield's and holding out her hand to also do the standard people shaking of hands upon meeting.
Yeah, Chester does the grab and then like the hand on top, the double.
Oh, wow.
Chester Fields, pleased to meet you.
That is a handshake.
this is like, I assume because he's a gentleman, right? So he's being
yes,
careful, right? So there's no like jarring of the woman.
No.
Okay.
No jarring of the woman.
Okay.
No canning, no jarring, no nothing.
Perfect. She doesn't like to be canned either, or pickled. Just none of it. She's been in a pickle. Not a fan. It's lovely to meet you. I'm Linger. This is Rip, and you see the little Chewinga looking thing with a mouse skull mask kind of lounging on her head. Maybe he's gotten a little piece of grass and is pretending to chew on it. I don't know.
He hands his little pinky out. Pleased to meet you, Chesterfield.
He shakes both hands like you did. He does the exact same thing with your finger.
Oh my gosh.
A true
So
gentleman.
well mannered.
Hi, I'm Mira. She just like peeks out from behind Linger and just waves. It's nice to meet you.
You as well. A delight to meet you. This is my good friend, perhaps my best friend in the whole world. Warden.
Best friend. Oh wow. Mira just like looks over to Warden. Hi, I'm Mira.
It's still a statue.
His
That
best
means he
friend
likes
is a-
you.
Bird
Your
lands
best
on
friend
Warden's
is-
head.
Yeah.
Your best friend is a suit of armor with a cloak on.
Pretty cool, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's a D4. That's deadly. Hold on.
Do they speak? Is it a construct? What are we
Yeah,
seeing?
sort of a fascinating. When he does speak, it's got a lot of weight to it because he sort of saves the words up. So it's very impressive.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So Jay and Silent Bob situation. I understand now.
How do you save words? Like in a bank or something?
Yes, that's a word bank. Yeah, that's one way to go about it. A journal. Dictionary, thesaurus.
I've never seen a dictionary in my life.
Oh my.
Well, we'll have to get you one. Give you the D. Yes.
Fuck, I don't think that's a good idea. That's terrible. All right.
I think Linger will set aside her curiosity about the stoic figure and go ahead and poof Rip out of into his little pocket realm, because there's a big statue-y mystery right there. So probably best to not have Rip clamber all over the person trying to discover secrets.
As you guys all cluster together, would you like to
Oh yeah, descriptions. We got
describe
sidetracked.
yourselves
No.
for the first-time viewers?
No.
Let's
Okay.
start with Warden, because he's been the quiet.
Yeah.
Easy enough. All right. Warden is, like previously mentioned, just looks like a suit of armor. You don't see any, normally you would see like a sway or like maybe a rise to the chest or something, like to indicate breathing. There's none of that here. When he does not move, he is as still of a statue. And has a sort of large, dark cloak that is over his shoulders, along with his helmet is also hooded as well. But yeah, and his helmet visor is sort of T-shaped. But as you peer in, there appears to be nothing really.
Same.
But yeah. Shut up, Mura.
Oh man.
So yeah. But yeah, Shum, he is
Wrong game.
Forge.
Wrong game.
And just for reference against Mura, how tall is Warden?
6 foot.
Cool. Speaking of Mura, why don't we go for Mura next? Because I'm now just going anti-clockwise.
Great. Okay, so this is Mira. She's here. She's pretty short, like 5'2", 5'4", something like that. But 5'7" with antlers, maybe something exaggerated a little bit. Or a lot of it. She's got this like golden yellow skin with like these like ox blood, dark red like etchings in it, long black nails. She's wearing a lot of clothing, it seems like there's a lot of layers happening. Just a poofy skirt and a nice like kind of peasanty shirt and like a vest and a jacket and a cloak and a leather vest and just like it's just a lot of stuff. She's a hexblood, so she has like the hexblood crown. Hers has like succulents and pomegranates and other sorts of flowers, a lot of jewel tone. She does have the pointy ears as well. And she is wearing like a lot of jewelry, although it doesn't look expensive. It just looks, acquired. And she's got two antlers. Yeah, one would assume. She's got two like soft, or they're not soft, they're antlers, so they're hard, but they're like fuzzy, like deer antlers. And the front half of her hair is gray, and the back half is like a navy blue, and it's got threads of gold in it. And her hair looks wet all the time. Her face vacant, eyes stormy blue gray, and yeah, she just like everything looks like it's new to her all the time.
I feel like if Warden and Murrow were to get into a staring contest, Murrow would somehow win.
She too it's vacant. It is the vacant. It's probably a vacant look to rival Wardens. So, yeah, that's Mira.
Well, then, if we're continuing round anti-clockwise, it's Chester next.
Chester Fields, pleased to meet you. He is a fine southern gentleman, a bugbear, which, if you don't know D&D, kind of looks like a werewolf a little bit. He is a Bard 2 Rogue 1.
Oh, yeah.
Probably supremely coiffed, despite having hair everywhere. It's all perfectly in place. He's got a sort of a cream suit on. Not a suit made of cream, but a cream colored suit. Although the other kind of interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 6'9", so he's very tall. He got a resting smirk face, as I've described somewhere before. I forget where. He definitely sort of poo-poos any sort of physical labor and just tries to use his words and convince other people to do things so he can just max and relax. Both. Yellow eyes, but they're supposed to be, so it's not jaundice.
Not this time.
And just wants to spread love and cheer and relaxation among the realms. Why are these people burning stuff? That's not cool. Literally. And that's Chester Fields.
Too warm, literally.
And last but certainly not least, Linger.
Linger is stands, I think.
Linger is, full stop.
Linger is the end. She stands, I think it's 5'4" and then 5'6" with her horns, or 5'6" and 5'8". I can't remember. But so we're gonna settle on 5'6", one way or the other. Give or take horns. Who knows? Do people actually measure themselves in this world? Who knows?
Probably not.
Yeah, she is an albino tiefling, by the looks of it. Pale, deathly pale skin. Mira probably hasn't noticed because she is Mira. But when Linger is busy writing in her brown leather-bound spell book, she does seem to go a little transparent as she's focused on her spells and not the world around her. She has long, probably just past her shoulder blades, snowy white hair. It's very fine and thin, but overall thick. So that's going to be fun with the humidity, especially being in that forest. It was just all crazy. Little flyaways everywhere. Now that she's gotten to actual civilization again and bought herself some clothes that fit a little bit better, she appreciated the stuff that Mira lent her, but got to be comfortable in what you're wearing. She now has a not navy blue, like a deep midnight blue dress with a high collar. It has a black lace overlay. That is not for fashion, that's for practicality, so that her familiar Rip can more easily clamber up her. And of course, the actual character that I'm playing, Rip, is a 2-inch tall, chewinga looking humanoid. That means they're human shaped and kind of inky black, no actual features to their body, just spindly arms. Apparently, thighs so thick that Discord said no.
Oh, this is so bad.
It's right behind you, actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Big.
Yeah, look at that boy. And he has he has acquired a mouse skull, which was probably fairly readily available in the forest, and has decided that it makes the most fun little mask. And much like the movie V for Vendetta, he is very good at being expressive with just his mask and tilting his head to catch the light in just such a way. And let's see. Oh, her horns, like very simple, almost bull-like horns. They're narrow and they curve back. They like closer to her head than a lot of tieflings. They're kind of curved up. Her eyes, of course, there's no iris, no pupils. It's just like a super washed out light blue with pink around the edges because albino. And her tail is much thinner than usual for a tiefling. And she usually has it wrapped around her spellbook when it's not in use. And who knows, she might bop people with that tail occasionally. Like a stereotypical nun in a movie going by and rapping knuckles. Stop that. Yeah, I think she's got boots on. They're adventure boots. They're for practicality, not for fashion.
Yeah, so would you say those boots are made for walking?
They're very much made for walking.
Bum, bum,
What they'll do.
bum, bum.
Excellent. But yeah. As you guys kind of gather, you can hear this robed individual still kind of repeating those same sort of things over and over again, and just, the spirits will not leave us until we have appeased them. It is entirely possible that this month the ritual may not work unless we increase our offerings. For just $5.99 a month.
You too can join our OnlyFans.
I was
Only
actually going more
followers.
down the
Only
cult route.
Yeah, I
Nice.
rolled insight.
Yeah, you can roll an insight.
God, I hope I fail this. I
hope you do too.
Go for it, go for it.
13.
13. I mean, I feel like it's often easier when people aren't, like, actively trying to hide things or being weird and suspicious. It's pretty clear from kind of how he is and how he's talking. Genuinely seems to believe what he's saying. And you're definitely not getting a sense of, like, he's just trying to bullshit everyone. Like, you can hear the slight kind of edge of fear on his voice. Warden's heard that a lot. Warden knows what it sounds like.
Persuasion. The coward's last line of defense.
My highest stat.
You talk! You're a talking suit of armor! Wow. You're
you,
fascinated. I didn't think you actually spoke. I heard that you saved all of your words. You bank them even.
See?
Should we intervene? I
Yes.
think we should tell them first of all that their pyre is obviously part of their issue. This is,
I do not believe they are telling the truth.
and then perhaps we've already discovered one situation where spirits were a farce. Perhaps this is another, and there's some more rational, reasonable external force that is influencing this town that we could just deal with.
Chester nods as if he knows exactly what you're saying. Yes,
Mira
that
just-
is quite obviously what is happening. Wow, you are smart. All right. Intervening. He taps the guy on the shoulder. Excuse me, sir. Chester Fields, pleased to meet you.
Yes, hello. Pleasure to make your acquaintance too.
What's with the pie? In the trying to get coins out of these citizens. What's
We
the
are-
deal with that?
We are building an offering. What we have offered until now has not been good enough. The spirits are still angry, and so we must do better. We have built this pyre to offer up more burnings.
More burnings. Okay. How does this anger manifest itself from this god, would you say?
Tumdar has sent these evil spirits to punish us. Are these not the works of an evil god punishing the townsfolk? And you can hear, like, murmurs of agreement from the crowd. What else would you say could characterize the plague that has afflicted us for months? Spirits that will not let people sleep, drive men to insanity. Yeah, kind of gathering from the crowd.
Well, I'm convinced.
Mira looks to Warden and is like, did you understand anything that Linger said?
AOL dial-up.
Warren will actually look, slowly turn to you. Some of it.
Fair and
Wow.
honest.
I feel like you must be so smart then, because she just uses like so many words. It's really hard sometimes to understand. So
Linger's gonna step up behind Chester Fields with like one finger held up. Like, I have some follow-up questions.
Oh, please, of course, yes.
Yeah.
He's very convincing. I think there might be evil gods afoot. He's
Well,
reaching
they
into his belongings for stuff to throw in the fire. Yeah, what could I throw in here? Good thinking, good thinking.
If you could, one, why are they worshiping an evil god in the first place, and how did they see that playing out for them long term? And then perhaps if any of these manifestations are occurring in specific locations that we could go check out, and Also, could they just douse this particular fire for right now?
As you can see, the people in the back throwing more wood on. Who are you asking this to? To Chester or to the person with the
She's going to
robes?
filter it through Chester.
Nice.
Excuse me, sir. My friend here does raise some value. He's like one of those, like, as soon as someone has an argument, he's like, yeah, wait a second. That's right.
Is it just the whole time like, yeah, okay.
Huh.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Linger is smart enough to realize that her people skills are not on the same
Thank God
level.
one of us is smart. Period.
Chester's the one you send up to be like, sorry, my friend ordered Coke and you gave him Pepsi.
Yes.
No, I don't want to send it back. That would be so rude.
It
Chester's
really
our
is
friend
a
that-
fantasy. Wow.
Yeah, can I get a Coke? Oh, Pepsi. I'll take a Dr Pepper.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm just saying, you never like hear someone who likes Pepsi say, "Yeah, I'll take a Dr Pepper." You know,
Yeah.
because yeah, Coke's fine.
It's true.
Just saying.
It's true.
Who drinks Pepsi?
Not on purpose.
Guys, come on, you're ruining our chances for sponsorship. Ugh.
I'm from
We're increasing
Atlanta. I
Right.
drink Coke here, so
Yeah.
He will filter the questions
love you,
to this
Lindsay.
individual and
He,
sort of give a hands-on-hip stance, like, yeah, wait a second.
He kind of listens to all of them until you're finished before. Are you mad? We don't worship Tumdar. The worship of a member of the fallen council is outlawed under the kingdom of Jura. But are these not the machinations of an evil god sent to punish us? We don't mean to worship him, simply to appease him that he might leave us the fuck alone.
that sounds like worship. Oh, Mira wouldn't know that. I don't know. She says
Yeah.
that anyway.
We just want him to stop.
We shall play tip.
Mira like looks up and is like, "Oh,
Wait a minute.
hold on. I don't think we should fight any gods."
He's a very good fighter, but I am not quite sure God fisticuffs is quite up your alley yet. Maybe one day.
What does the leader guy say about like locations and stuff?
Oh,
Because-
yes, you were asking for that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
It's a multi-part. I understand.
Yes. No, he is, I think it would also potentially even actually to the point of having Linger kind of tap Chester to repeat the question. He would have focused so intently on like, how dare you insinuate we worship this evil god, before
I do
being
just wanna
reminded
point
that there
out that-
were other questions.
Yeah, as he is saying, "How dare you?" Linger can't help herself and gestures at the whole pyre situation. Like, how could we not? But
In
yeah,
his pocket dimension, Rip does too.
yeah.
That's
runs
how
up
bad.
to it. Takes his little leaves out and does his.
I mean, he kind of... The spirits have been affecting all over town. I mean, you can hardly walk 10 feet without bumping into someone who has been so vilely afflicted.
Linger immediately counts out 10 feet and looks for any person within that sphere.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people around you at the moment. A lot of them are looking tired, scared, angry now, kind of joining in with this person's doom-saying, for lack of a better word.
Saying.
Linger will tap on Chesterfield's shoulder with her tail to get his attention again so he can lean down.
Yes.
Perhaps ask them what they think the next phase of offering should be. I feel like things could escalate quickly.
have a feeling Linga
Yeah,
knows exactly where it's going.
What is currently burning in the pile? Actually,
Right now,
Just like
mostly wood,
wood.
some
All right,
paper,
so he'll
other
little girl
kind
named
of various
Sally.
tinderings.
it's not books, is it?
No.
It is. It's
Okay.
book. It's books and children's toys.
All right, because Chester would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
All right, so he
As
so,
with
Books
Linga.
are the toys.
Yeah.
The books for Linga.
he looks at the pile. All right, so we get some wood. Yeah, we can maybe have a little roast later of some sort, some crawdads, perhaps. What would you say is the next step in appeasing this god with these holy flames?
Is it not obvious? Someone so evil
might
and
be.
vile as Tumda will not be sated until we offer ourselves to him.
All right, put the fire
We
out.
must take it
Everyone,
upon
bring him
ourselves
back out.
to appoint
fire out.
individuals in this town who must
He's gonna smack the guy in
be
the face.
sacrificed.
Mira
Yeah,
just
Warden's
like,
just gonna walk over, just like start kicking the fire out.
wait, hold on, I can help with
Stop.
this. Mira,
No!
Mira, let me read my spell.
Control flames.
No, I got shape water. Can I get water from my water skin and use it, like use shape water to douse the flame?
I'll say it won't necessarily douse it in its entirety, but you can
I-
certainly start putting it out. This is like a
Yeah.
10-foot pyre kind of thing at this point. Like, there's a lot of fire going on, but you can certainly start. Mostly because
Where's
the
my
water starts evaporating as it starts dousing the flames.
Can Linger kind of like half-heartedly help by just like flicking a little prestidigitation at it? Just stuff. Could you? And then I guess Chesterfields, I think you're going to have to rein in the crowd a little bit and get them to pause while we.
Sorry, continue.
No, go ahead.
I was
If
just going
what?
to say, if you're putting out the fire, just before that kind of got too far into it, he is going to turn to you, as do the others, and just, if you do not stop putting out our fire, we will be forced to stop you.
Oh, I'd like to see you try. I'm very tough.
Uh-oh.
She says, and she's just like squishing
Warden.
the water skin
Rolls
onto
up like
the...
5
Warden.
sleeves.
Oh man, Warden will turn to the guy leading it and say, "Very well.
I would like
But if you
to.
want to burn people in this, why don't you go first?" And I'll start approaching him menacingly.
Nice.
Can I roll an intimidation check?
Sure. What were you about to
Yes.
say, Linger?
Linger is just trying to get Chesterfield's attention to be like, perhaps we should. I'm just going to use Lindsay
Yeah.
voice here because I think that's the only
Yeah.
way I'm going to get it in. We need to kind of calm down the situation, convince them to let us have a shot at figuring this out, and try not to slaughter inept commoners.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. He's got his incredibly long 10-foot reach arms out because that's a thing of bugbears. Consider this, if you will. Burning alive is not fun at all, as we can all sort of realize. That's column A. Burning alive. Do we really want to do that? Or living with a sickness. Not fun, but you're not dead and burning alive. So why don't we just look into the sickness? We'll do a little investigation. I've got a very smart individual standing beside me here. And if we can't solve it, we'll burn you all alive. How does that sound?
Make a persuasion check. And Warden, make your intimidation check on this man.
Oh my god, I rolled a 1
Nice.
for an 8.
15.
So the crowd don't seem particularly convinced. They seem a little confused. by all the words that you're throwing their way.
I mean, it was so logical.
Warden, however, as you start approaching slowly and menacingly as the music builds behind you, he starts kind of backing up away from you, and I warn you, if you try anything, I will slaughter you where you stand, and draws a weapon. Weapon TBD because it's not loading properly.
It's
Nondescript
somewhat
weapon.
weapon shaped.
Yes, the polygons haven't loaded in yet. Just a vague
Damn,
shape
Cyberpunk
right
looked
now.
faster.
Yeah.
Oh no, as soon as weapons are being drawn, I think Mira's like, I should step back. Mostly because I personally realize how close I am to everybody.
And you
so,
see the other three starting to also do the same.
yeah, I would like to be back here. Yes.
Okay, Linger is going to also step back, but kind of look to the crowd, and she'll use thaumaturgy, so her voice is a little louder, and she's just going to dumb it down for everyone. You stop, we fix, no fight.
I'll say
I suggest you listen to her.
make either a persuasion or intimidation check, your choice. You are using the thaumaturgy to be booming, so I will allow it to be intimidating should you so choose.
Hey,
Oh, that's a nat 20
that's the opposite
Hell
of what
yeah.
I did.
for just a 20 because I don't have a modifier for either of those.
Yo, but that's awesome.
So,
had,
as
to, had to bring it down to their level.
Linger's voice booms over them, you can see the kind of, I guess that makes sense, like the nods starting to spread across the crowd. As they were like, yeah, this person's making a lot of sense. Maybe we should let someone else try and fix it first before we burn our children.
I mean, that was my big play, guys, so it's up to you.
And they are kind of like, the crowd are, some of them are, more of them are starting to kind of disperse now. Be like, yeah, screw this. Someone else can try and fix it before this.
Warden starts, or Warden, Chester starts joining in. Yeah, that does make sense. She does have a valid argument. Why don't they solve it with words?
It's a battle axe, Warden, that is now being waved in your face.
Ew.
Ooh.
So I wouldn't recommend.
Where he somehow pulled this from without you knowing he had a battle axe is beyond me.
Well,
But
yeah,
somehow...
Yeah, it's a woodsman axe. Just
Yeah,
reflavored.
of course.
Yeah.
Just hidden under the cloak. So, what would you guys like to do?
Please
You
don't
see them
fight
all
us.
drawing weapons.
I mean, I would really like to not kill random villagers that we're trying to help.
You
In
don't
a
have to
perfect
kill
world.
them. You could always knock them out.
That's,
Yeah.
does Linger seem like somebody that does punching? It's like,
We are
Throw
trying
rip
to
at
help.
them really,
Please do not
really hard.
resist.
Sorry, what was that, Warden?
We are trying to help. Please do not resist.
We are also trying to help, and we were trying to help before you came here and started ruining what we are trying to do, and now you're threatening to throw me on the fire.
Oh, you wanted to go in the fire.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of like, hey, if you want to burn people, maybe you should be the first burn.
Offerings to the gods work in mysterious ways, and I am the one who is here, risen to interpret them. If I were to burn, how would they know what to do?
You make a very valid point. I do need to rescind my earlier decision. But she looks to Warden, I guess, since they look the most capable of knocking people out. If you could just perhaps quiet in this one for a while, I think that would be optimal for our purposes.
I'm armed.
He's going to turn over to Linger. I now understand you.
Excellent. And she'll just kind of keep stepping back, but she's gonna, I guess, keep Spare the Dying like ready.
Just in case someone gets accidentally killed.
Yeah, so there's like cyan light kind of glowing around her fingertips as she warms that up.
She means to slay me with magic! As he starts pointing. As Warden's bearing it.
What were you gonna say, Warden?
Yeah.
If robot knuckles could crack.
Oh yeah. You've got a little bubble wrap underneath the knuckles, so it
Just for the effect.
Yeah. There's special gears in there just to go across like some ribbed metal.
So what would you guys like to do? As he is now very worried, and there are 3 other individuals behind him who are starting to pull out varying degrees of short sword, dagger, and scimitar.
How many other citizens are still around? Has the crowd pretty much just been like, these guys are going to handle it and left?
With weapons being drawn, people are starting to nervously back away and disperse and flee. Especially after the shout of, she means to kill me with magic. A lot of people were like, I'm out! So it's thinning. There are still a few people around.
So he didn't need to be looking at her or anything when she was doing that? Because it's not like a big, massive light show going on. It's just like around her hands. And he's got Chester and
Oh yeah, that's true.
Warden right up in his grill, and she's stepped way off.
That's very true. He wouldn't have seen it then, and probably wouldn't have been shouting. But even still, with weapons
I'm fine with
being
doing
drawn,
a sleight of hand or something to offset that.
Yeah, sure. Even still, with weapons being drawn,
Yeah, see, she's being more obvious than I thought.
people are... yeah. People are certainly leaving. When weapons get drawn, people are not gonna stick around for long.
No? I love weapons.
Here, those who want to fight are staying.
All those who are
Collateral
like,
damage
are they
would be
gonna
Chester starts to
fight?
walk away. Is there a tavern in this town? Oh my.
So what would you guys like to do?
So is that do I get the green light?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I think Linger gave you the green light.
Thumbs up. Let's do this. I would like to engage in fisticuffs.
Okay, are you just swinging at him with a fist?
Well, if they have weapons, I guess I'll use my weapon too. Only fair, right? Oh man.
Warden just comes
yeah.
in half swording it and bonks him with the pommel.
Yes, actually. That's the plan somewhat. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go in for a great sword attack on
Okay.
the. Is the one in front of me? Was he the guy kind of leading this, or
Yes. With the red robe.
wonderful? 10.
Will not hit. Unfortunately, as you swing, and he brings up his battle axe and just kind of blocks it with the haft of the battle axe. And just, you see, They mean to kill us all! Roll initiative.
That was a warning swing.
Oh
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm
Bro.
gonna roll 4. Here it is.
Ugh,
Ooh.
I got a nat
11.
Are you still tweeting our things?
I am. So I tweeted yours and I tweeted Maywood's nat one as well. It was in the same
Nice.
tweet, but
Why do I have 2 Chesters? God damn it.
Why don't you have 2 Chesters?
The more, the merrier.
Mhm.
Chesters.
Oh, because
Chester party.
the owlbear and Warden and Chester were still there. Suddenly, owlbear! Who's missing? Mura's missing. Where did Mura vanish to?
the Shadow Realm.
Turn. So what was Mura's initiative?
21.
Nice. Of course. Mura
Yes.
only ever rolls high when it comes to initiative.
I know. I never want to go first, and I always end up going first.
Well, Mira should remember. I'm sure that Linger has been over this many, many times, enough to where hopefully she remembers that. What do you want to do first in a fight?
Mage armor.
There you go. Very good. Like she even looks at you, or Linger looks to Mira as things start heating up, and she kind of like most yes, to do the thing.
Sorry, bear with me. Just rolling initiatives.
You mage armored?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Steph
'Cause
forgets,
I always forget.
and it helps me remember to remind Steph.
All right, so looks like if it is my go, Chester's gonna move up. Oh, I really wish you hadn't done that.
Yeah.
It's not quite my turn yet. I will not step
I hadn't
forward.
put everyone's initiatives in
Oh, no.
and rearranged it. So currently
Oh,
Chester's
okay.
at the top because Chester just got put there. But
Oh no,
it's
it's
Mura
me
first.
Truly.
Because Mura only rolls high for initiative.
Once again, truly. Okie dokie. I'm gonna cast mage armor.
Woo.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm gonna use one of my spell slots. Yeah. I think that's all. I don't know why I put it in the chat twice, but yeah. I think I'm far enough away from everybody. I feel good about that. That's my turn.
Cool.
Excellent.
In that case, it is this guy's turn. As he is watching from behind as Warden takes a swing, he is going to charge on in with his scimitar and protect his accomplice. Just swing at you with a no to hit. That'll be 7.
Excellent.
As once again, Warden, the fatal mistake that most people make when they just assume they're attacking a man in armor. He swings at what would usually be a man in armor's weak point and finds only more solid metal. The scimitar just bounces off and you see like the whole blade and arm vibrates. He's my shoulder. Clearly not the most seasoned of fighters, but enough to know where weak spots might be. Just failed miserably. And it's now
Just to
Chester's
confirm,
turn. Yes.
every time Warden does anything, there's like heavy metal music in the background, right?
It's just
Dun, 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 dun.
Sabaton.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Just making sure.
It's either heavy metal or the Terminator theme tune. That's my headcanon.
Yeah. As he steps up, it's the dun, 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 but then the rest of it is all just
Meanwhile, in the helmet, you just hear country roads.
nice. I love that.
Take me home.
Echoing around in the hollow armor.
Oh, yeah.
Just
That's like 24/7. That's all it is. Am I? Here's a question we haven't come across yet. Am I 10 foot from this guy?
You should be.
Yeah, that counts as 10 foot. Like I know if I was here, it would be 10 foot. But if I'm here, is it 10 foot?
Oh yeah, that's a very interesting point.
I've
'Cause
seen
it's
some
not actually a
grids
straight
that explain it.
line.
Well, if you use the ruler, it's 10 feet.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Fine.
what I was
Ruler.
just looking at. So I'm inclined to rule with the ruler.
Okay, cool.
Unless you're doing 5, 10, 5.
The rule of
Never said you are.
ruler.
No, because I don't like that. It hurts my little Brian.
I love
Ditto.
it. But
Okay, so then he's gonna stay where he is. Pull out his trusty rapier, aim steadily at this individual with the battle axe to give him advantage, and try to stab him with a rapier. Ideally. So an 18 or a 19. I assume those will hit.
Yes.
So gonna take the 19, I guess, since it's advantage. So 7 piercing, 5 from sneak attack, and this person hasn't acted yet in this initiative. So I get surprise attack for an additional 7. And hopefully, really, just mess him up. Have at thee, you rapscallion.
I was looking at the wrong health. That's why. There we go. And you've done 7 piercing, 5 sneak attack, 7 surprise attack. Excellent. So that's 19 total.
No, 19.
Exactly. And will that end your turn? As you just up into him,
Yes, that will be me.
and he just as you like slice across the chest, you see fairly heavy bleeding. You seem to have landed a good blow, but probably here to finish him off forever. It's Warden, who's about to banish him to the Shadow Realm.
All right. Yes. Yes, I will try. Let's see. Yeah, yeet.
Yeah,
Soft 20.
you gotta be
That'll hit.
shitting me.
Jealous.
Very.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, I will also like to use a superiority dice to use disarming attack.
Okay. Which
So
is
yeah,
a
when you-
dex save or a strength save from me.
When you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die, add to damage, and disarm the target. If it fails a strength saving throw,
Strength.
DC is 13.
Oh. Oh, you should have said that before I rolled. It landed on a 14. Let me just check if he has a negative strength bonus. He does not.
He's a religious
Unfortunately.
type. Oh.
Surprising, but okay. No, let's look at the damage from.
As you try to disarm him, and you kind of like rip the sleeves of this cloak off, and you just see the bulging muscles underneath.
Oh my.
God damn. That'll also be plus 6, so 15 overall.
15 damage. Maths is hard, isn't it? 15, you said.
Yes.
He is looking real beat up, struggling to stand, blood pouring from his body.
Yeah.
Are you trying to hit him non-lethally, or are you just like, I'm gonna kill him?
Yeah, to flavor it, I'll say like how he catches it with the haft. Warden is going to push forward and knock it out of the way with his crossguard and bind and wind and hit him with the pommel that way.
Cool. So he's like coughing up a lot of blood and there's like a smashed up side of his face.
When I play fighters, I get to use all my fencing terminology.
Does that end your turn?
Yes.
In that case, it's his turn. And
Uh-oh.
he's gonna swing. With two hands, he's gonna swing his battle axe twice at you and just, away! Away, you beast! With a 6 and a 9, which kind of makes sense, because you've just smashed him in
Nice.
the face with a pommel, and he's not wearing a helmet. He can barely see you. At this point, to him, there's like 3 wardens. He hit one of them, killed another one, but the actual warden, he's still good.
You done goofed, kid.
Done goof.
As he's like struggling to stand, kind of staggers back against the stage that they were stood on a moment ago and kind of leans up against it, trying to catch his breath a bit. It is this lovely person's turn, right at the back of the pack. And they are going to... here. Nope, that's Linger I've just clicked on. They come running round towards Chester, having seen you kind of backing up from behind and stabbing in with a rapier.
My.
And they are coming in to support their glorious leader. Praised be he. And is going to swing with their... I say dagger, it's really more of like a machete. With a 9 to hit.
Fortunately, does not.
As it just kind of like, they swing at you, you see it coming, you just kind of step back a bit and it thuds into this corner post of the house that you're now like fighting around.
Ah, please, please, there's no need.
And seeing their friend do the same. And
What
seeing
did I
two
just say
others
about there being no need?
dealing with Warden. These others are thinking, yeah, sure, you know, there's 2 people on this guy. How tough can he be? So he's going to join in wailing on Chester. With his rather rough short sword with a 13 to hit.
Short sword, yeah, that'll hit.
13 hits, damn.
Yes, that is my AC.
Get armor, my dude. Ugh.
Yes, I have. I have no dexterity, almost.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
6 points of slashing damage.
You mother... Ow.
And... Linger.
Linger is just going to cast her mage armor, which of course is the almost frost-like, almost fog-like, shimmering
Hell yeah.
shell that extends around her. And is going to probably say, well, she should probably move a little. Moving is always nice.
People are closing in. I should move.
Way over here. Yeah, she zips past. She bustles. It's more what she does. So
Nice.
as she's going, she's unhooking her spellbook from her hip and unwrapping her tail and kind of opening it, and the pages start flipping themselves. And she nods at Mira as she goes past. Her skirts
Good job on the
are
mage armor.
yeah, kind of swishing back and forth as she very busily bustles back and then sharply turns on her heels back towards the combat area and just sort of cocks an eyebrow and sighs as she continues watching this hot mess of a situation. And I don't think she has any bonus actions that matter, but we'll check again. Well, as a bonus action, she could summon her quill. Why not, then? Yeah,
Excellent.
little flick of the wrist, and there's her bright red, orange, yellow feathered quill. And she's going to tuck it behind her appointed tiefling ear for right now.
But it's there just in case.
Yeah.
Excellent. Does that end your turn?
It does.
At this point, the crowd have dispersed. Screaming, shouting, running. There's a fight going on, and people don't want to get hit by the collateral damage. And it is Mura's turn. As people are like pushing past you to get away.
Oh, I'm okay. All right. Ow. Please.
Who looks the most hurt here?
The guy who just took the butt of Warden's sword repeatedly to the face.
Will you ping him so I don't hit him?
Boop.
Okay. Oh, okay. Everybody
Did
just
three
ping him.
different people just ping out
I did
at the
not.
same time.
I thought that was
Well,
a cool
very
new
helpful.
effect for a second.
Teamwork.
was like, wow.
Thanks, guys.
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast this lady. Cause she hasn't gotten hit yet.
Okay.
What? What?
No, it was just playing it through in my head, the idea that this person quite possibly hasn't seen Mura through the crowd, failed to attack this bugbear, is attacking a post, and is now just getting blasted in the face out of nowhere. I love it.
Yeet. It's 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
That is 13 damage, max damage.
Are you trying to kill her or knock her out?
Knock her out? Like, I'm not trying to kill anybody here.
I mean, I'll kind of allow it with an Eldritch Blast, because it is just like pure force damage. As opposed to like, yeah, I'm gonna non-lethally fireball him.
Right.
Which is kind of hard to do. So
Okay, I've
Chester,
got spare the dying.
as you're like backing away from this woman who's swinging at you with a rather makeshift machete from over your shoulder, this blast of energy just catches her square in the chest. The head kind of snaps back. You see the whiplash. She is unconscious before she even hits the floor.
Oh my. I tried to warn you.
She is out of foot traffic, though, right? She's not going to get stomped.
Oh yeah, no. They're fleeing kind of
Okay.
Mura and Linger's way, and were kind of gathered more towards the center.
Yeah, we don't want her to get
Linger
trampled.
specifically was checking for collateral damage possibilities earlier. Okay.
Chester looks to Mira and gives a, thank you, most kind, most kind.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I love it.
There's like smoke coming from Mura's
I love it
hands,
as well.
holsters the finger guns. Does that end Mira's turn?
It sure does. I'm just gonna stay right where I am.
Cool.
And I have to go kick my dog out, so pardon me for a moment.
That's
I have
right.
food and she wants it.
The lovely man with the scimitar who was just recovered from nearly dislocating his shoulder by attacking Warden is going to swing again with his scimitar at you. Because that went so well the first time with a dirty 20 to hit.
He hits. Wow.
Did you get a
Yeah.
dirty 20 again?
No, me.
Oh, you gross. Never mind. I don't want to tweet about that.
Boo.
2 points of slashing damage, and you all just hear the as it slides down the front of Warden.
No,
We don't like it.
You've been scratched. Warden mad.
Wow.
It'll buff
He'll
out.
buff out, but he's been scratched. And it's
Okay,
kind
where
of
is
deep.
Riposte.
Damn it. These goddamn battle masters, go for it.
This dude is like the master of battle masters.
Love it.
Oh man, yeah. All right. How do I get that out of the way? Clear all. There we go.
I do like a good
Oh,
battle
actually,
master, and
it's
no one ever
parry
picks them in my
instead.
games.
I love them. I love playing
Let's
with them.
see. Use your
like
actions
my
when once
favorite.
shooting die.
Oh, Ethan is good at it too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Bait and switch me, baby. Let's do it.
Bait and switch is awesome.
Oh wait, I'm getting parry and riposte mixed up. Never mind. So riposte is only if you miss.
Right.
Actually, I'll save my thing. Sorry.
Okay. It's fine, just blue ball me.
We're gonna talk you up anyway.
Yeah.
As I forget all my stuff.
Ethan knows everything.
Ethan is so good at this. So good at everything.
Chester.
Sorry.
I mean, obviously, none of us knew either.
Yeah,
We're just
no
like,
one
yeah,
corrected
do
it.
We trust you.
I mean, there
We're
is
glad you got away with it.
So I have parry though, but that only reduces damage. But I don't want to waste
two.
for 2. You know.
It looked like you were like Warden was gonna do some fancy stuff.
This
was
this
gearing
girl's
up for it.
unconscious, I think. This
Yes.
person's unconscious. Yeah, okay. So he's gonna look to the individual in front of him and say, "You see what happened to your friend there? Come on, we don't need to do this." And it's going to slash out with a rapier for 14.
I like how
Yes.
I was gonna say I like how Chester said that, and yet Chester is not the
Yeah.
one at all that knocked this person
Oh,
out.
absolutely.
It matters.
Credit where credit is to be stolen.
Handling.
Yeah.
Yes, truly.
A 14 will hit.
All right. So for piercing to sneak, and then is going to look to Warden. Warden, you are a master of battle, unparalleled in this entire realm. And we'll give you some bardic inspiration there, because that seemed to work out well in our first session quite often. So
You are inspired.
you are inspired.
Flattery is unbecoming of you. If steel can
pleasure.
blush.
And he will stay where he is.
Cool. Does that end your turn?
He does.
Warden.
All right. So
Death's shadow looms over this man.
all right. Yeah. Old reliable. 24.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Was that a nat 20?
No.
No.
No, it's
Yeah.
a 19.
19.
He has a +5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that'll hit. 13. I mean, the dude had like 3 health left. How would you like to knock him out?
Oh man.
There's this like
So
kind of 3-foot-ish high stage that they were stood on behind him that he's kind of leaning up against for support as you storm in towards him.
yeah. This whole fight, I feel like Warden's been kind of dictating, like, you know, the direction of combat, right? And I feel like he's just been kind of like pushing him like back and back further, like his back into the fire a little bit.
Mhm.
And as the final swing comes down, Warden will throw his sword into a Mordhau, and once again just whack him upside the head with the pommel,
Nice.
just right on the fire's edge.
So the fire's up on the platform that they were stood on.
Okay.
But you do smack him up the face. There's some definite jaw cracking, teeth flying, nose snapping action. As kind of there's a moment where like you hit him and you see him drop unconscious, and then he kind of comes to as he's falling back, and you're like, damn it, and then the back of his head connects with the edge of the back of the stage, and he just slumps unconscious.
And no, just like what's it? Not even like moving legs, just turns to the guy with the scimitar,
Nice.
rotates in place.
The body twists, the legs twist.
Hmm.
Nice. And does that end your turn?
And that'll be my turn.
Cool. Well, it's not his turn anymore because he unconscious, and so is she. But this guy with a short sword is okay. Gonna swing again at Chester with a natural 20 for 23
I'm
to hit.
going to silvery barbs that.
Okay.
Like I've never silvery barbs it before.
And I re-roll on a silvery barbs, don't I?
Reroll, please, and roll very low. You're going to want to do
12 to hit.
They will miss, and I will give myself advantage on the attack I'm about to make against you at some time. The tables have turned. The turns have tabled.
Well, how the tables. Cool. Well, that'll end his turn as he kind of swings in towards you, and you watch as he just stops and starts clutching the side of his head and just linger.
All right. So the axe man that looks like a hooded figure carrying a toddler.
Yes.
What kind of condition do they look like they are in from her perspective?
That's a very good question. I can't remember which one I've marked where. My bad. My brain's just completely melted the second you answered that question. Warden hadn't hit him yet, and no one else has. So he's looking pretty good.
Okay.
Like, you know when someone just asks you a question and you open your mouth to answer and your brain just immediately turns to goop? That.
And he was the main one talking, right? Because wasn't the main
No,
one the one that
one's
reached
just being
around?
dropped.
Oh,
Warden.
okay. So this is the woodsman.
You'll...
All right. We're just gonna go with a nice. The book finally stops flipping pages, and she looks down, and she's kind of annoyed that she dismissed Rip earlier, because usually holds the pages in place because the book kind of has an attitude and likes to change its mind a lot. But she can't summon him back right now, so she's having to use her tail to hold down the pages, and the ink on the pages keeps rearranging. Finally comes to a formula that the book seems happy with, and so ergo Linger is happy with it. And for the rest of us, she is going to cast second level Ray of Sickness.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh no.
Done with this. And the book kind of starts trembling in her hands and glowing with the telltale cyan light that is her necrotic energy, and it builds and builds and builds and then blasts out from the spine of the book across the courtyard there. It kind of zips under Mira's arm,
Oh. She raises her arm.
All right. And
The anime noises coming from Mira.
Love it.
I'm just an anime girl. Honestly.
24 to hit.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And
Nice. Damn.
there's okay. And then 18 damage. But they get a Constitution saving throw on a failed save. They will also be poisoned. It's a DC 13.
So he passes the Constitution save.
Mm-hmm.
And what damage type are you using? 'Cause you can change your
Necrotic.
damage types, can't you? Necrotic.
I
Cool.
can, but this one is already right where we need it.
So you watch as this blast of energy just connects, and they just stagger in place and drop immediately. The Linger doesn't mess around. Damn. You hear the ethereal clapping of Rip from his pocket dimension.
Mhm.
Golf clap. Only you can hear it.
And
though.
yeah, and since necrotic energy is sort of her jam, it's they're technically dead until she'll go over
she
and do
Deigns to
yeah,
to
until she walks over
undo
to
that.
do yep. So I will not say that that's non-lethal, but she will have to go do spare the dying to
Nice.
undo it a little.
As they're just like slowly withering on the floor.
I will fix that momentarily, and that's your
Mira.
turn.
Hi. Okay. It's just something went under my arm, and I got really distracted by using my brain. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this guy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Okay.
My favorite joke from Beauty and the Beast.
16?
16 will hit.
Yeah.
It's only
Wow,
the main
that's
guy
max.
who was beefier.
Oh.
That is max damage once again, 13.
As Warden is still kind of squaring off, Warden Chester is squaring off with this guy, like, I'm warning you, and this guy is like, "Argh," and Mira just once again comes in with the blast and sends him cartwheeling through the air, unconscious on the floor.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. I'm the fastest blaster in this immediate area.
My stories will be told of your fastness in this area.
I hope not. I don't like No thanks.
All right, I will change your name for to keep it, on the
Yeah.
DL.
To protect my privacy.
We'll
I
call you
appreciate that.
Arum.
Yeah, that error.
Nice.
That sounds perfect.
As in, I made an error in this character.
Yeah.
And I said Arum as in your name backwards.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
got a lot
I
going on.
She didn't get that. She doesn't
No.
know what her name is backwards. You're lucky she even knows what her fucking name is. Honestly. Oh, jeez Louise. All right. Yeah, that's my turn. That's this absolute dum-dum's turn.
And that's combat. They're done.
Okay. All right. Well, then
We did
Linger
it.
will bustle over and just sort of politely lean over and just sort of tap each one of them with a little of the don't die right now.
Why did we fight them?
I honestly, the stubbornness on their part.
Oh. Wow, if somebody fought me every time I'd be stubborn, I'd never fight any, but okay. You know what? Looking back on that, I realize I'm not as stubborn as I thought I might be. That's fine.
They
Hi.
were being very aggressive.
Oh, you do have a lot of words inside of you. You've like saved them up. You're a word bank. Yes, I agree. Aggression.
So is the last form of any simple mind is the aggressive stance like this. We did what must be done.
yeah, all dumb people are very aggressive.
Be aggressive.
This is the dumbest person here.
So
All right, I guess we solved the issue
Not
of
dying,
the
but
gods here.
unconscious.
We did it, guys. We saved the city.
We saved the town.
We stopped them from burning children.
Oh yeah,
We've accomplished that, but I think there's still the underlying issue.
what now?
The malady, the other maladies that the township seems to be suffering.
You say maladies, and Mira's face just completely like her eyes glaze over like a fucking donut at Krispy Kreme. Like,
Not sponsored.
not
Not
sponsored, but you, Krispy Kreme sponsor me. I'm in Atlanta. I love your donuts.
Yeah, she's just like, I don't, hey, Linda,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
you said a really big word that I didn't understand. Malady?
Milady.
Malady?
The sicknesses and illnesses and other negative influences that have been occurring in the town.
All right, okay. You know what? I got it. They've
Bad
got
thing.
They've got a sickness.
And the only cure.
Is Mira?
Oh
She's so stupid. I feel like playing this character has actually like decreased my personal brain cells. And yet I specifically asked Mitch if I could bring her back for this campaign.
What would you guys like to do?
I think they gave it to me.
She's gonna. Perhaps we should look through the pockets just to make sure. Maybe there's some. Clues. That's it. Clues for what's going on in this town. That aforementioned sickness, that malady that you mentioned. Yeah.
Maladies.
The maladies. You check the maladies. I'll check the men.
All right, Linger's gonna go back to putting the fire out. She doesn't. Whatever.
Mira watches you because she doesn't know exactly what you're doing, and she's like, "Are you taking things from their pocket?
Yes, basically that's what I'm doing. All right.
Are we allowed to do?
We're not only allowed, we're encouraged.
But
Right?
Mira.exe stopped working.
Yeah.
Who truly is the Warforged here, me or Ward?"
It is me.
You just, her eyes just go bright blue.
The issue is
It's
she's
just-
still on Windows XP. He's on Windows 11.
That one got me, Mitch. That was pretty good. She looks
Windows
over.
10.
She looks over to.
she looks over to Warden and is like, are you encouraging us to look through pockets? Who is encouraging us?
Who's encouraging us? Oh, well, that's a very good question. The world at large, really. We live in a system of capitalism, and although I do not wish to be large and in charge, it is a system I must participate in. I'm not a fan, but needs must, which is a saying.
I believe Chester calls this searching for evidence.
Yeah, and also evident.
Okay. I don't know what capitalism is.
He likes to keep all the evidence.
It's those big letters at the start of a word. That's
Oh, right. Yeah, I capitalize everything. I like to speak in capitals.
yeah, Mira texts all in caps.
I'm picturing more of the SpongeBob SquarePants, some caps, some not.
Oh yeah.
It's SpongeBob starting the paper where he just writes the biggest T and then the smallest H-E. Good lord. Yeah, so Mira will help search for evidence.
Yes, evidence
Okay.
of money, he whispers to himself.
Linger will kind of call over. Keep an eye out for papers, books, notations of any type would specifically be helpful. She doesn't really. She knows what they're doing. She doesn't.
And
Her moral
Please let me
compass
find a
is.
paper or a book.
Linger's smart enough that I don't need to ask how she's putting out the fire without injuring herself.
Just prestidigitation over and
Yeah.
over.
I like if it was any of the rest of us.
Yeah.
How do you put out the fire? We'd be like hands.
Well, let's be honest, if it's me, she's gonna start, like, flapping clothes at it, and now her clothes are on fire.
Well, she was using shape water earlier.
Yeah, she was using shape water.
I know, I'm joking. I'm just being a dick to Mira.
But for the listeners, if they haven't picked up, Linger's the only one with a positive intelligence modifier.
Hey, listeners! Everyone here is fucking stupid except for Linger.
Hey,
And
they're
when
all
I say
watchers now, 'cause it's
when I
stream.
hey watchers, everyone here is fucking stupid, and when I mean fucking stupid, I mean real fucking stupid, except for Linger. Like we are ding dang dumb.
I like. I pictured Chester's because he's got jack of all trades. He knows like a little bit about a lot of things that gives him the illusion of being smart. He's like the Dunning-Kruger effect run wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mira's
He can-
a fucking dumbass.
He can, like,
Conversely, no people skills, so all the information has to be funneled through specifically Chesterfield, since he can give that illusion of knowledge anyway. It
Yes.
works. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I bet you everyone thinks Warden is so smart because he's like the strong silent type. So they're like, "Oh, look at this guy. He's
You guys haven't
only
seen him read yet.
Yeah.
and he's just there like,
That's
Warden like pork.
You made a joke only 3 people on this stream will get.
Wouldn't kiss, wouldn't like milk, wouldn't drink milk.
Nate, you're gonna have to share that with the whole chat now. Let's.
Can you share that with the whole
Anyway.
class, please?
So,
I will.
Can't have
As,
an inside joke on the. An inside joke.
as Linger is prestidigitating the fire slowly out, and the three of you are searching pockets. Who is searching whom?
I'm gonna search the lady because Chester, one of them made me feel like it was better for me to do that
Cool.
emotionally. What do I roll? Do I roll?
No, you don't have to. It's all good.
Okay.
Is who are Chester and Warden?
Oh,
That's their ship name,
That's the
guys.
ship name.
I'll check the one in front of me here. That dude.
Or is Warden
That one?
even searching?
The main guy. You're searching the main guy right there.
Cool. And like I just realized I have the realization that I actually need to ask a lot of the time, is Warden actually doing that thing, or is he just standing there stoically?
No, no. I feel like
Oil can.
I feel like this is gonna be like routine for him and Chester.
Cool.
So
So
Wow.
Yeah,
We
we
will
got some good
start-
stuff last time.
with Mura. There's kind of like a handful of copper pieces, some like lint from the trousers, you know, just standard. There's like a thumbtack, a little bit of blue tack. It's mostly just kind of the copper is all you really find in her pockets.
I give it to Chester.
Nice. They're gonna wake up
Chester
and be like,
counts.
so we didn't get anyone on the pyre, and then some people knocked us out, robbed us, and just left
saved
us
our
here
town.
unconscious.
What?
Yeah. No, but they like they have that brief moment when they wake up of just like, did they just knock us out and rob us? Which I mean serves them right. Full disclosure, serves them right.
Karma.
That's karma, is what that
They
is.
had it coming. But like
Ran into my knife 12 times.
but yeah, next person along.
How much copper do I? So I put it down here.
A handful. Ugh, honestly, how do you not know how much that is? Ugh. It's
Okay,
like
so
5 copper pieces.
7,000.
Yeah.
God.
Chester's got pretty big hands.
Yeah.
The next one has a few more copper pieces to the tune of 10. Really
Nice.
living it up big in this very, very small village.
But when you're
kind
done
of
with the
like-
pockets, I have a question.
Cool. It's kind of like borderline village town. So there's not crazy amounts going on here in terms of personal wealth. Other than that, there's a tinderbox. Go figure.
He'll when he sees that, he'll. Does anyone not have a tinderbox? I already have one, so feel free if anyone does not.
What's a tinderbox?
It lets you start a fire.
Oh, I'm good.
All right.
I don't like fire.
The beauty and the destructive power of fire is something to behold. Perhaps in time you will come to appreciate it.
No thanks. I just like water.
Fair as well. Warden, Linga, need for a tinderbox?
I have no need for tinderbox.
I can just strike flint on myself.
I'm quite fine. Thank you.
I now am the proud owner of 2 tinderboxes. All right.
However, any gemstones, various odds and ends would always be helpful.
I do not have a diamond worth around 50 gold pieces. That's what you're inquiring? No, I do not.
Whoa.
We're up a deception roll here. 24. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Couldn't if I wanted.
And in the leader's pockets, there is 3 silver. There is another tinderbox.
Immediately hand out to Chester.
Yes,
Here,
3.
I just know that you like. I just heard that you like these so much.
What I got? 3 tinderboxes.
Fine addition to my collection.
Yes.
Now it's a thing.
You
Fortunately, I have a
also-
powerful build, so just load
Yeah.
me up.
You do also find a kind of like rolled up, tied up piece of parchment, almost like a scroll.
When we'll start reading that.
Okay. You start slowly reading. And
I like that your eyes aren't moving. That's how I picture Warden.
as you do, it kind of it's pretty hastily scrawled from the looks of it, kind of messy, but it says, "No one is to know your name, no one is to know your purpose, sow dissent among the town, and bring sacrifices in cleansing fire for the sun god."
While he's reading, since there had been previous pyres and offerings in this general area, yeah?
No, just this one. That was where the smoke was coming from.
So this was their first attempt at any sort of offering, but
I
they
figured
said
it
that
out.
stuff had failed before?
No. So they do offerings as part of this regular ritual.
Uh-huh.
This, they were building a new big
Okay,
pyre.
so this was the first one of this round for this month.
Yes, because
Or
the
whatever.
offerings haven't
Okay.
actually started yet. You've been in Belcrest long enough to know they are gearing up
Okay.
for the ritual, which will be happening like. Let me double check. It should be a day or two from now. So it's definitely
Okay, so
not
they don't
supposed to
have,
start
like-
yet.
Okay, so like the pile of offerings isn't here yet.
No, and it's.
Okay, that's it. I'm good.
I will say. Give me either just a straight intelligence or maybe a history check, just to see if you've kind of come into contact with anyone talking about the location of the ritual stuff.
No, with a 7. She's not familiar with Belcrest. It became popular after her.
Well, it's just because you
Sojourn.
and Mura have been here like a couple of days, so it was just like, have you happened to come across anyone or cared enough to listen to what they were saying?
No, I think she spent most of her time trying to pretend to sleep because it was very important to Mira that Linger get to rest in a big fluffy bed. So she's
That is true.
she's either been in her room staring at the ceiling for hours or staring at her book working on her spells for hours. And then also entertaining or being entertained by Mira. I think she's very amused by Mira.
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh,
general.
thank God someone is.
I mean, she has Rip as a life companion, so she's obviously got a particular flavor of person she enjoys. Anyway, that's it. I was just curious about the.
Yeah, and also at this point as well, the fire is now out enough that you can either kind
Queashed.
of quell the last smolders or just literally leave the wind to blow out the rest, kind of thing.
Oh, do you need help putting that fire out?
If you would like to finish the fire, you're welcome to.
Oh, okay. Very, very well. He'll mage
Pee on it.
hand some of the embers around. Just there we go. Job done.
Nice.
He's on
Just
it.
presto the last of it. Great.
Perfect.
As Warden is still reading in the background.
Yeah. Night falls.
Yeah, I think
Figured
as soon
it
as
out.
Linger notices, she's crossed arms, tapping.
What have
foot,
you
waiting.
figured out?
Yes.
He lands scroll over to Chester. This makes mention of the sun god again.
Oh, this motherfucker. Jesus. Sun god. Yeah. Curiouser and curiouser.
You have come into that also. We have the.
You're a
woods.
member of the sun god cult?
No.
Draw sword, draw sword.
No, no.
We have dealt with members of this sun god.
That's
Sheath
better,
sword,
that's much
sheath
better.
sword.
Execute command, sheath sword. All right. Well, yeah, we can certainly compare notes. They don't seem to be the nicest individuals.
Or
It's
very
like-
bright.
Yeah, a lot of infiltration they have on their agenda, it seems like. Infiltrate, sow dissent, chaos ensues. It's a whole thing, really.
She'll walk over to Warden. May I see the parchment for a moment?
Oh, yes, here you are.
I handed it to Chester.
Oh, okay, sorry. My bad. I missed that. Then from whomever, Chester, she'll give it a very quick read. And
Quick
In that
read.
case,
Wow.
quick read.
Wow.
Woof.
Wow.
Barely a glance, hands it back. If this note is accurate, I think it would be advisable for this particular individual to perhaps have fallen in this particular kerfuffle. And she's like her hand will start glowing again, and she's gonna slowly like reach down, waiting to see if anybody stops her.
That's very dark. I can be convinced either way, to be honest. I'm a sort of a neutral observer, you might say, and my alignment is neutral. So either way.
He was sent here to convince the town to burn themselves to death. So I don't
True.
feel that it's wise to leave this particular thread just hanging.
Maybe I do one, devil's, I suppose in this case, angel's advocate. Perhaps we should do the sort of classic, who do you work for, and give him a good shake.
Where are the other drugs going?
Yeah, similar to that.
She'll pull her hand back. You make a very good point. For now.
Couldn't hoit. I mean,
She immediately just like steps back and looks to the bigger, stronger people. Look stronger. Yeah, you're stronger looking. Everyone's stronger than she is. It's fine.
However, tying them up may be a good idea. I think I have rope.
Perhaps removing them from this location to a more secure, less public.
Yeah, he'll just start like literally picking up the individuals one under each arm. He'll put some of them in, say, this if he can gain access, but he'll save the other one separately. Yeah, perhaps we keep this one separated from the other since he seems to be the leader.
Yeah, we're gonna pick up one as well.
Nice.
I can't remember. Did the ones in the woods, did they have any like tattoos or scarred markings or brands or anything?
So
I don't
the
remember.
Most notable marking, per se,
Dude's face.
would be that guy who was just horribly burnt.
Perhaps we check these others for any signs of exposure to flame, massive burns, scarring. That was prevalent in one of the ones that we fought.
You
previously.
think perhaps these cultists, these sun god cultists, have traveled to the sun and been buoyed?
Or they just fuck around with fire a lot.
It's possible. They do say if you do travel to the sun, in order to be safe, you go at nighttime. Just FYI.
Yeah, it's colder.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
I mean, that sounds almost smart, to be fair.
It does. I love that, like, because of what she's been exposed to thus far, her opinion of where the world is at.
Yeah.
Everyone is dumb.
Everyone you've met is dumb.
Yeah.
You need to throw in some smart NPCs stat.
No, this is great.
Leave.
No, she's
As
gonna
you,
fix it. I must fix all of this.
As you figure out what you're going to do with the bodies, and indeed afterwards, we're going to go for a quick break.
Woo!
Woo! We will be back in like
Fine.
10 minutes. See you real soon.
she's like, okay, so she's like 64.
And we're back.
64, 60, 69.
Woohoo! Nice.
And we're back.
Hey,
Discussing dog ages as we pop back onto the stream.
yeah. Why wouldn't we?
Oh wow, we've had bits cheered. Thank you very much for the bit.
I've bits cheered. Max did more though.
Yeah.
Max did many bits.
Thank you for your bits, Max.
Yeah,
Thanks for the bits,
Thanks,
Max.
Max.
I don't really understand what it means because I'm old, but thank you.
I don't think
Thank you.
anyone really does.
Okay.
Thank you for the bits.
They're just a
I'm not
thing
really old, but
that
I just am
exist.
ignorant.
Ethan, what are the bits? You're a Gen Zer.
You see, the bits are something you give Twitch streamers,
And then they have them.
and then they just have them.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I love that.
Thanks,
The-
Max.
Is there? Does it affect the algorithm or?
It's
Provide
like crypto,
funds.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I know about crypto.
I know all about the NFTs.
There's actually a company that's renting out the back half of the ironworks place that I work for to set up their bit mining company.
Oh wow, that's bad for the environment.
A little late to the party too.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so I was like, oh. And when they said they were doing it, I was like, that's still a thing.
I guess if you want to.
Rent's rent. I mean, it's already an ironworks factory. It's already bad for the environment. Anyway,
So,
back to Fantasyland, where there's not bit mining, but there are bits. Are we bit mining?
speaking of cryptocurrency, so back to fantasy worlds.
So basically, you take a
We're switching
computer
to-
and you just like punch a bunch of numbers in, and it just mines them off of the.
Where do the monkeys
Yeah.
come in?
I don't
Sa-
know.
The Sands of
Hmm.
Shadowrun. That's what we're playing now.
So,
Serious time.
you have picked up bodies, ready for possible interrogation and or looking to see if any of them are burnt. In terms of, you were discussing beforehand, somewhere safe and out of the way to take them. I mean, there's a couple of, like, alleyways. Mura and Linga have, like, a room at the tavern, or, like, a room each, depending on how they wanted to do it.
Probably just a room.
Other
Yeah.
than that, it's unfortunately not like that time last campaign where you just chilled in Mura's house and it was all cool.
Does Mura still have a house? I don't even know.
Yeah. But I mean, there's got to be like a shed or something, right? Like, there's all those
Yeah,
buildings.
can we find a random shed? Is there a storage unit here?
Or just like drag them out to the woods. There's got to be.
Roll for shed. I'll say make a perception or investigation check.
Great.
Or
I'll
yes, you
fucking
can
do
drag
it.
them out into the surrounding woods. That is very viable.
That's a 7.
I got an 11 for a shed check.
I will say with a 7, Mira maybe. Does Mira know what a shed is compared to a
No.
house?
No.
I didn't want to put like the words in your mouth and be like, Mira doesn't know what a shed is, and that's why she hasn't found one.
She's definitely looking, but she just thinks that they're all houses. She's like, oh, knocks on the door. Oh, nobody's home. Okay. And keeps going.
um,
God, she's stupid.
Linga, however, does know what a shed is and does find one. Yes. Mira's tired out from all that shed hunting. Or shedding, as they call it in Erroth.
I do a bit of shedding myself from time to time.
But yes, you Linga does manage to locate a shed.
All right, I will
tap
deposit
this.
this.
Go ahead.
I will deposit this individual in the shed you have found. Teamwork. Dreamwork.
Perfect. Now, I guess, what is the process here? Do we wake him and then you
Well, I'm going
rough
to
him
take
up?
these
He's
3
threatened? I
tinder
don't know.
boxes,
Uh-huh.
one under each fingernail, and we're going to light them up.
No,
Jesus.
no, we can't do that. That sounds like bad stuff.
For the greater good.
No, I don't accept that. I'm not gonna
Fair
let
enough.
you light people's fingers on fire.
Oh,
We-
I see. It is the threat of lighting them on fire. We're not actually going to do it.
I think we should just ask really nicely.
That is always the first go-to option in my books as well.
I'll do the asking.
I love it.
I'm the nicest.
All right. He reaches up to the guy and just plugs his nose to wake him up.
He just chokes out. No, there is a brief cough and a splutter as he wakes up. And
Welcome,
Good morning.
friend.
then a very long, drawn-out groan of pain as he clutches the side of his face that Warden has been violently mutilating.
They're rearranging.
Yeah, you know.
My friend here is going to ask you some questions, and I would appreciate it greatly were you to answer honestly. We have terrible and horrible magics to tell if you are lying.
Make a deception check.
Good lord.
25.
God.
That's fine.
Yes.
There we go.
Wow, look at that.
He
look at that.
looks terrified.
Guess I'll just have to sit this one out.
I have so many questions for you. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, I'm tired. Just woken up from being unconscious.
He made me yawn.
Now everyone in the shed's yawning except Warden.
Oh, we're gonna summon Rip back during all this also.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Rip is now in attendance.
He's flexing.
Oh yeah, he's looking as threatening as possible.
Lean shoulders forward, trying to like arms, when the guys do the under the
Yeah.
when they fold their arms to push out the muscles,
Yeah,
make their arm
knuckles
muscles
under
look
the
bigger.
biceps, just pushing him out
Yeah,
a
he's-
little bit. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. I've literally immediately forgotten what Mira asked.
What are you doing here?
The brain fog that I still have is so real, man. He looks kind of up at you. I mean, I assume you guys sat him down, but it's, not too far to Mira.
I think Mura's like squatted, like over him too. Like, what are you doing here? Like
Nice.
legs really wide too, like big gremlin energy.
He kind of looks at you and says, I'm a citizen of Belcrest. I'm simply
You're-
trying to expunge the spirits.
Don't lie to me. I know who you are. You worship the sun god.
Are you trying to intimidate him into talking? You sound quite threatening.
Absolutely, I am. I am.
Make an
so-
intimidation check.
All right, baby. That's a dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
A very
Nice.
dirty 20.
Mira's got the full finger wag going.
They're long nails too, aren't they? They're like,
Yeah.
They are. They're very long. They're claws. They're looking very hag-like right now.
Linger can do some like underlighting to
Oh yeah.
help spookify.
I mean, was there really like a? You didn't really ask anything more though, did you? You were just like, I know
No.
who you are. Yeah. So he just. I was about to
you're-
say. I was like, what does he respond? But I was like, but
I
he
said
can
that he
just
was
stay
a.
silent.
I
and
said
he
that
will.
he was a worshiper of the sun god.
Yeah. Does he react at all? Like facial expressions or anything that we can, some body language we can read?
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
Oh, I'd love to.
And
I
then
can help somebody with
Anyone
that.
who's keeping an eye out.
I think,
Probably should help Linger.
all right, you're going to help me.
Yeah, I'm proficient, so I can help.
Okay. And then Linger's going to get a nat 20. So
Good
Did you say
job.
an insight? Did you say it? Did you just roll a nat 20? I just did a nat 20.
sorry. And ask Chester again for the parchment that was found to sort of like present as evidence of like, see, we know what you're about, mister.
We know all about you and your kind.
Yeah, we know so much about all of you and your bad magic and your bad setups and your bad sigils.
They really are subpar.
Subpar.
That pyre
Subpar.
mess out there. No wonder your god is so angry.
The fact that Mira said it and then very quietly Warden goes subpar, like fucking almost killed me. I almost died.
Oh.
I will say with Linger's 21, it's not maybe. I mean, how would you say Linger is at just reading people in general?
It's all got to be very like categorical type information. Like if a person raises their eyebrow,
Right.
it means blah. If they do this, it means blah. But like until she
In
actually like
general,
gets
yeah.
to, yeah, it's got to be like boxes you can tick.
Cool. I think it's possibly like a combination of that and also just from growing somewhat used to it from the exposure in your past. You often know what someone who's trying to seem more aloof and intelligent and all-knowing looks like when they've been caught out in a lie or, called out or something. You've probably done that to people in the past.
Oh yeah.
You know what other wizards
Her
look
mentor,
like.
definitely.
You know what wizards look like when you catch them out in a lie or catch them out being stupid when they're trying to pretend they're not stupid. And
Okay.
it's kind of like a mixture of like, okay, he's ticked that box, but also I recognize this one. There is like definite recognition and he's definitely trying to hide something when you start mentioning the sun god. And then when you pull out the parchment, he starts. That's when like the box ticking starts coming in as he's now like shifting nervously, chewing his lip. There's like a single bead of sweat. He's looking to the left, not looking Mira directly in the eyes, and you're like tick 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 tick.
Excellent. He is obviously lying and trying to cover up information that he has. I feel like perhaps more of this, these tactics you were speaking of using before. And she looks to Chester with his when he would.
Ah, yes, my tactics. Very well.
Yes.
The hard way it is. And he takes out one of the tinder boxes. He puts it on the ground. He takes out the hempen rope, cuts off a 3-foot piece, dips it in oil, puts that on the ground. He takes off some string, ties a little bow, puts that on the ground. Who knows what that means? From his rations, he takes a cucumber. Why? Who's to say? Puts that on the ground, cracks his actual knuckles. All right. Well, sir, by the way, Chesterfields, pleased to meet you. Your name is?
I have no name.
Okay, this is going to be fun then.
Everyone has a name, Mira says threateningly.
Make an intimidation
Now-
check.
Yeah.
I'm definitely helping. Oh wait, I'm not
Intimidating
proficient with
Mura
Half
is
proficient.
intimidating.
Yeah, Linger just rolls her eyes.
It's a natural 20.
that. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
So scared.
It's still like the underlighting and the creepily flowing hair from Linger before. But also you guys start to see as like the wetness in Mura's hair starts to intensify a little bit. The horns almost seem to grow sharper and longer. The etchings on the skin almost seem to start glowing with their own light. As he just... I haven't earned my name yet.
Oh my
And you're bringing a scare warden.
Please explain
Little bit
this
of oil
in
comes
more
out.
detail.
Yes, explain you not earning your name in detail. I need to know.
Yeah, and who do you earn this name from? Is what I am most curious about.
The sun god.
Like not an intermediary.
Yeah.
Intermediary.
Who's an intermediate?
There are others, of course, but
Of course.
we earn our rights by passing through the flames and surviving.
So you're not particularly afraid of fire, then, is the takeaway from that.
Of course not. If it is for the sun god, I will do anything.
Hey, do you like water though?
Oh God, no! No.
That's kind of hydrophobic of you.
No, he doesn't seem to react much when you're like, hey, what about water?
Trying to decide how dark Linger is willing to get for information.
Welcome to the first session.
Yeah.
Linger is gonna pick up Rip and set him on Dude's shoulder. Rip's gonna grab hold of Dude's ear, and then like set his little hand just inside the ear canal.
Ugh. Ugh. That's gonna be so horrible.
Yeah. We need information, and I'm sure that if fire isn't something that you find worrisome, that we can come up with other things. And then, like, Rip's gonna just kind of like reach a little further in, just like slide. Yeah.
Ew.
Very uncomfortable. You always got
It's
these
like
little arms.
elbow deep.
Yeah. You don't know what he can do. That might be all he can do. Dude doesn't know.
No, he doesn't know that. Make an intimidation check with advantage because your little friend is reaching into his ear.
Okay, I'm waiting
For
to
all
see if
he
you roll a
knows,
20 on
you are
this.
literally about to physically pull the secrets out of his brain.
All right. There was a 15, but I'm going to do my knowledge from a past life to add a d6. So it'll be a dirty 20.
Nice. The eyes go wide. See, please, I will leave. I will never come back. But I requested to be stationed here. Belcrest is my home. and I'd heard that the spirits were getting worse here. This is actually a completely separate, wholly unrelated thing that does happen. But I came back partly to follow my orders and also partly to help. Please, I will just leave. Please don't hurt me any more. Looks back at Warden.
Yeah, he'll beat you up. He's the beatiest upper.
Excuse me, Mr. No Name, where did these orders come from?
The sun god.
You spoke to the sun god.
No, I would never speak directly to him. I'm not worthy yet.
Who did you speak to? I'm talking slowly, so these words penetrate your mind just like that creature's gonna do if you don't answer.
Make an intimidation check and I'll give you advantage. You're referring to Rip, who is so far up in his ear right now.
30-20.
Jesus Christ.
It's another nameless one, but he's been serving longer than I have. The orders came down to him and came through to me. Please.
Okay, well, you may not have his name. You may have the name of the location in which you spoke to him, in which he resides. What is that name?
We were in the Whispering Grove.
Whispering Grove. All right, so I'm writing that down. In character and out of character.
I will say all of you make either like a general intelligence, history, nature, your choice.
Go to history. At least I get a no negative. Oh, perfect.
I'll go nature.
Wouldn't just roll a 0.
Yeah.
It is 17.
It had to end sometime. I got a 9.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
There's
the
that
smart
0
person
on the
got
screen
it.
for all to see.
Is that the first nat 0?
No, I did
I'm taking a
Yeah.
picture. Putting it on our
Got a
Twitter.
nat 1 minus 1. Although, 1 D&D, when you roll a nat 1, you get DM inspiration. So, at least there's that.
You do! Congratulations! Now you have
Then
an
I should have it.
inspiration.
Cool.
Okay.
Rolls a 0,
Was-
has no idea what's going on, but at least he's inspired. Linger,
Yeah.
the only one who knows things. Whispering Grove isn't the most specific of place names to be given, especially in an area like the Sleeping Gardens. You're pretty familiar with the Sleeping Gardens given its location in comparison to where you studied. So you know a fair bit about it. The Whispering Grove, and as well for all you know, it could have got bigger, it could have got smaller. Could be a massive stretch of forest. It could be a small area of trees similar to where you saw the Dryad. It's kind of like, it's helpful in giving you a rough region, but not necessarily specific.
A couple of things. I'm just going to give you a little list here just to speed things up. Please provide a more specific meeting place within the Whispering Grove that's akin to saying that forest over there. It could be anywhere in there. Is there a central location where your faith sort of converges or works out of? And then finally, if this is your home, I assume you have family, friends here, and you were going to literally convince them to burn themselves to death. And this is so where you're at as a person.
Ow.
Oof. The
Why
worst
are you
torture
like
of all,
this?
emotional torture.
Uh,
We got it all covered. All sorts of different types: psychological, emotional.
What's
doing what
everyone's
we can do.
passive perceptions?
Oh no.
Not good.
11.
13.
12.
12.
Fuck, we're
Let me
fucked.
just do a thing real quick. God damn it.
I mean, he's a DM. He does things all the time. What could
That's true.
possibly be like?
Well, I rolled a 5 plus whatever his bonus would be. So you all see as he's like, no, I've said too much, and he starts like squirming. You can see, even though presumably you tied his hands behind his back, you can see he's like reaching for something in a pocket.
No, don't you do that. Mirror
As
like
he just
smacks his hand.
massively fails the sleight of hand check.
Did we
You're
empty his
sma-
pockets?
Yeah, we got the note from it.
Yes, you did.
Some
Sorry,
silver.
not pocket. Fucking brain. Um,
He's getting it out of his brain.
yes.
His butt.
Yeah, his prison pocket.
No.
You
I
can
don't
see
know.
he's like trying to reach up inside of a sleeve.
Mirror smacks his hand.
All right, then we will reach up inside of his sleeve. One of us will.
Careful, he
Yeah,
may
well-
be a magician.
You're not a good person.
It's all just scarves.
Oh no, it never
Alright.
ends.
What does Linger find in said sleeve?
There is
Scarves.
a small kind of like almost crystal bead, and as you kind of look at it, it's almost like there's dancing flames inside it. He's like, no, please, give it here, please.
Oh, absolutely not. She's gonna just kind of close her. Well, she'll just keep it pinched and step away and examine it off to the side.
Presumably an Arcana check.
Presumably, yeah. A dirty 20.
You know nothing. No. It's definitely something magical. Obviously, it's unfortunately with Arcana checks you can't really like identify stuff and things like that. But it very much seems.
Oh, but wait! She has a pearl now.
Oh,
She's gonna
does
step off
she?
to the side. Yeah, because I sent you her shopping list.
She does,
and she's
yes.
going to take the time to. You will all have to handle this for me for about. You know what? I'll just use my book. It'll be just a minute. 1 minute.
As Rip just flicks him in the eardrum.
Yeah. Then pops off, comes over, and I'll use my special book thing.
Love special book things.
You know, the special book thing that lets her do one ritual as a. Yeah. Her spell book glows, and like the center of her chest kind of glows a little bit too at the same time when she invokes the power of the spell book. And yeah, so she'll cast Identify, and it takes way less time than it normally does, but just this
Yes.
once for today.
So it's not a specific magic item per se, and it's definitely not something you've really come across before. But obviously, as per Identify and how it works, you are able to pick up kind of the essence of it and how it would work, and you get this kind of idea and reading. Here's a fun and novel idea and thought, and obviously feel free to veto it. When you identify something, would you say like instructions on how to use it and what it is like write themselves into your book?
Absolutely, they do.
Cool.
The
Just
same
'cause
red ink.
You're very book focused, and that could be a very cool thing. So you see it kind of like appearing in the book. It's very much this, and you've come across like kind of similar things in other ways, But effectively, the idea is it's almost like a cyanide pill in a way, in that the user crushes this bead in their hand and is engulfed in flame and dies. Harmless to everything else around it, it just kind of enwraps and encapsulates the crusher.
That's getting slipped into a pouch.
Oh boy.
That could be useful for later.
Never know.
Maybe Rip needs to put it inside his ear.
Maybe.
No!
No, he wants to die. And I wish Rip could make noises, because whispering that close to somebody's eardrum would be amazing.
So painful. As he just kind of like slumps back defeated.
Chester will look at his companions. Well, what do we do now? We get the gist with not much in the way of details, perhaps enough to stop what is happening in this town.
Perhaps they would be willing to give us more information about that aspect, if not the sun god then.
Yeah, because it sounds like he is taking advantage of a pre-existing situation. Interesting.
Mira agrees.
Mira, you agree with this
We will do
statement?
this.
Yeah, it,
I just loved that.
Yeah.
You can tell by the expression on Warden's face that he is also in agreement.
Yes.
Mira looks over to Warden to see if his expression has changed, and she
No.
thinks it must have because Chester said something, and she looks back and she's like, "I concur."
It
The
did.
shadow
Ooh.
on it has shifted slightly.
Even if it had, oh my god, it hasn't changed.
Taking cues from Rip.
Warden.
Rip, who gives
Warden
two thumbs
never
up.
changes.
Rip is bloodthirsty. He's the
Rip
real
takes no
powerhouse.
prisoners.
He doesn't, and we won't. This guy is a danger to himself and those around him. But we do need more information about the the angry spirits. So take that away.
What should we do with this individual, this no-named individual?
Well, first question him more about the current spirit situation, and then Rip will look up and do like the line across the throat thing, because you don't want to say out loud we're gonna kill him anyway. Yeah.
What does that line across the throat maneuver mean that you're doing there?
Oh God.
I'm
Oh, it means
unfamiliar
to
with
slit
it.
his throat.
Slit his throat. Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
So what do you ask?
Subtle as a boulder. So, I guess I will. The angry spirits situation that you claim is actually an issue here. What can you tell us about that? How long has it been going on? Is it seem to ebb and flow, wax and wane?
Well, it's sort of born of tradition. Once a year, we would gather and give offerings for warding away evil, hungry spirits sent by Tamdar, the god of greed, to make sure that we are safe from them. This town is generally believed to be somewhat haunted, which is
Good.
which is why we tend to do the ritual under the gallows tree.
Gallows Street?
Yes. It's
Hmm.
the tree that people used to be hung from. Hence
yeah,
the-
that,
I believe
why
it's
people think it's
hanged.
haunted.
yes.
No, they're well hung.
How do these things manifest? We heard mention of people becoming sick. Does anyone actually see anything? Are these apparitions? Do they move through town? Do they just affect certain age groups?
Well, it varies really.
Taking notes.
For the most part, the spirits are kept at bay by our ritual, our offering. But recently, there have been reports of sightings of spirits, and it became more frequent. And we now perform the ritual monthly in order to ensure that they stay away. And there was a man came from Faltis, a Minotaur man, a scholar. He said he saw a spirit, and he said it looked like a wispy black cloud, like a tattered curtain, and he said it spoke with a voice that could only have hailed from the 9 hells, and he raised a scroll and he burnt it before him, and the smoke from the scroll drove the spirit away. He took it from one of our traditions, the offerings, the rituals. We usually burn or sacrifice opulent offerings. They're hungry spirits, so we turn away from our greed by burning fake money, or making lavish offerings. If we have too much to spare of something, then that is offered up to appease the spirits, or if we're able to, or if there are any scholars or wizards or the sort around, then we scribe some of those fancy scrolls and we burn them.
And the spirits that have apparated, do they seem to come from the gallows tree, or they just pop up around town? Where did this Minotaur encounter this wispy black curtain?
He says he saw it near the gallows tree.
Excellent. So it sounds like we just need to post up near the gallows tree,
But
watch what happens.
they don't always appear. It's not fucking Scooby-Doo. No.
What's a Scooby? What's
We
a
rip off his
do?
face. Who is he? Oh dear
Oh
God.
my
that
God.
Was, that was his face.
Romera.
They don't always physically manifest. There were reports recently. You see, mostly around town, it's usually insomnia and nightmares from the haunting. That's how the spirits manifest, and we perform the ritual, and the spirits leave, and the insomnia and the nightmares leave with them. But for the most part, Moss Point Manor, towards the edge of town near the forest, the people who live there, they're the ones who have supposedly been hit the worst. That's what we were going to suggest for the burning, for the offerings to the sun god, but also to the spirits. We were going to suggest burning those haunted most in Moss Point Manor. One of them, one of the people who was staying there, a Dragonborn, I believe. He's been studying to enter the floating citadel, and before a few days past, he apparently was studying more and more frantically and began to skip meals and stop sleep, and he was skipping the monthly rituals to ward off the spirits, and started talking about whispers in his ear, and about 2 nights ago he hanged himself from the gallows tree.
Oh my.
Oh gosh.
I was going to say the entrance exam is very stressful, but that's a bit much. That place is a farce anyway. Unfortunate about the Dragonborn.
Off in the distance by the floating citadel, a crack of lightning can be heard. Who called us a farce? How dare you?
She might be a little bitter. It's fine. Oh,
It's all good. None of these guys are smart enough to pick up on it anyway.
yeah.
That's
Fine.
true.
Hey, I dropped out.
She fell out with some wizards there.
What's a school?
All right. Well, it sounds like, to me at least, that we should investigate if we feel like it. Hi, Mira, at any rate.
Hi.
You guys are welcome to join us also. But I'm quite curious about going to the manor, and if we're done with this gentleman.
You'll let me go now, right?
That
I'll-
is a
I'll leave and
way
never
to
return.
phrase it. You absolutely will, yes.
Yeah. Oh, can I do it? No, let Warden do it.
Who would like the honors?
Mira goes over to Warden and like pulls on his like cloak and is like,
Hey, hey. You, do you want to kill this guy?
He only has like 1 HP, right?
Blink once
Yeah.
for yes.
Rip can do it.
Give him a weapon.
give the guy a weapon?
Yes.
Oh,
Death by honorable combat. All right, here is your weapon, sir. He hands over a piece of rope.
no, I'll give him here. He can have my dagger. Here you go. Don't stab me. Be nice.
He's still tied up.
Yeah.
I put it in his mouth.
Open.
Like a
open.
pirate.
He's got a weapon now.
He's got a knife. Kill him.
What's that? What do you got?
no
He's got a knife!
Okay.
favorite game.
Just don't kill him by fire because he wants that. So deny.
Darn it. Let's away the freaking like
Blood
Elon
torch
Musk
thing.
boring. Yeah. Boring flamethrower thing. Yeah. Alright.
Sorry.
Well, do I have to roll for it? I just kind of roll. Just
Are you, like... I mean, the guy's tied up, so at the very least, if
Okay.
you're rolling at him, you have advantage.
Roll
Okay.
once again.
Like,
Goodness.
what's he gonna do?
Come on,
Block
come
it
on,
with his
come on.
mouth dagger?
Oh, jeez. There's a crit there.
Fuck. You just obliterate him, I guess.
We
So,
can't have
uh,
cultists just running around. It's not safe for anybody.
What does Warden do?
Oh man.
What a time to nat 20.
How many of you rolled this
Ooh.
session, dude? It's been like 5.
Don't bring it up, man. Don't bring it up. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't talk.
Don't speak to me, Mitch.
Okay.
He's hacked Roll20 to give himself infinite nat 20s.
Yes.
Yeah, we've rolled a lot of nat 20s this session.
Yeah.
Oh, did you not find where it
And
says
that's-
fudge roll?
All of them for the rest of the campaign. Done now.
Probably.
Yeah. They're just garbage from here on out.
Yeah.
We murder someone. That's it.
All right. Yeah. No, you just see like a samurai sword goes sheath real quickly,
Nice.
then the head just falls over.
Classic.
Oh my gosh.
His head fell off.
Rip's like looking at his hands like, did I do that?
Yeah.
Who could have done such a thing?
Most odd.
Warden covers the blood with the cloak. Oh, crazy! I wonder who did that.
You'll have to apologize me continuously muting myself. The mailman is here.
Oh,
and
you're
it
fine.
is an emergency.
The dogs had taken offense to that.
Clearly.
So, you just killed a man,
We did.
put a warden
Allegedly.
against his head. Or I guess put a rip against his head.
Yep.
What would you guys like to
I
do?
mean, we just killed some guys a couple of days ago. That's what we do. This just seems more dramatic because it wasn't in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
Well,
Rips like,
if
what
I'm
have
not
we become?
mistaken, the Rip is like making little bloody handprints along the bottom of like a shelf or something. Linger was alone for a long time. Just her
Doing
and
snow angels in the blood.
Yeah. It's pretty disturbing.
Ah, Rips.
Sounds like we have a haunted house on our hands, perhaps.
Quite possibly.
I don't. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I do believe that most people in towns like this can get a little touchy about. And she waves at the headless body. We should probably do something with this.
Wait, are you telling me that people don't like to find bodies?
It can be very traumatizing. Like, what if a child were to wander in here and then just be it's a future villain on our hands? We don't want that.
It will be a very valuable lesson.
I saw dead bodies when I was a kid. And look how I turned out.
Everyone immediately the same time. It all makes sense, man.
Not like a lot of them, but like, you know, a few.
What you're saying is, well, we like Murrah, so we need to make other little Murrahs.
Yeah.
So let's just wave the body around town.
I was like the smartest. Never mind. You know what? It's not gonna.
Yeah, right.
I could already tell the joke is not gonna go well, so decided to stop it.
That's a bridge too far even for me.
Yeah, really. Okay, should we bury it?
Option 1, bury. Option 2, fire. That's quite often an
Oh
option.
no, he wanted fire though. I think hold on, maybe I can help. I can't help.
Let's see.
Any of you very, very hungry?
God.
Not at all.
Wait, are you gonna
alright.
eat? Wait, hold on, Chester.
I didn't say that. I
know, but I'm asking. Do you eat people?
Do I eat people? That's a silly question.
I'm gonna insight check that.
I'm good. I just ate.
Can I please insight check Chester?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I think it'll be funny.
Drag
That's
his body into the
15.
woods and animals will deal with it.
Oh god. Just the deception check slowly popping up on the screen.
Oh, not a good one. Of course I do not eat people. That is a ridiculous statement.
However,
Is Chester lying?
Or
However, there was one time in the mountains where our airship crashed and things happened, okay?
I've
that seems
never
reasonable.
seen a ship before.
Why is your mouth watering?
Another option we have is simply to figure out who the authority is in this town and provide the letter as evidence of the treachery of this individual and let our silver-tongued friend here convince them that we did them a service and just
I
washed
think
our
that-
hands of this part of the situation.
I think that's a great idea, Linger. I don't see that there could be any reason that the like town authority would be in on this.
Well, no. I'm joking. It was
my
me,
friend-
Barry.
My friend Warden and I are actually honorary members of the Midnight Blades. Very cool name, yes?
Hmm.
So perhaps you'd use that to our advantage.
Are they
Perfect.
are they like blades that you use at midnight?
It can be.
Only at midnight.
It's hard to time it sometimes, but
Okay.
I have heard of temporal blades, I believe.
It's always midnight somewhere.
gotcha.
Wait,
What?
now we have a plan. Leave the
While we're walking, Mira like gets next to Linger and is like,
What does temporal mean?
It has to do with time and manipulating it.
What does manipulate?
Oh boy.
Oh, to change, alter.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
What does
Thank you.
alter mean?
Gonna be a long
What
day.
does
You're a
two
very
mean?
nice friend.
Oh,
I
you're so
enjoy your
nice
company.
too. Oh, I love spending time with you too. I'm so glad I met you in a hole in the forest covered by vines.
I'm not sure when the hole happened. I was up in the trees, but
There's a
there must have been a shift.
yeah, tree hole. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. I'm piecing it back
It
together.
was a gully, perhaps. And so it felt
Perhaps
like-
yes, a gully.
she nods. She doesn't feel like asking a further question because,
She's rapid fired a bunch.
yeah.
You know, it was a gully indeed.
So what are you guys doing?
Looking for the mayor's office.
Yeah. Is he a satyr?
Mayor, Satyr, Mayor.
Well, there does not appear to be a mayor's office in this village. You do, however, find what seems to be almost like a small barracks in a way, with the symbol of the Kingdom of Dura.
All right, this looks like a likely place, perhaps. He's gonna go in and just yell out, "Chesterfields, pleased to meet you." As he
Weapons
looks
draw.
around for...
Walks into a military base and announces himself. Everyone draws weapons. No. Yeah, you head in and announce yourself. There's some very confused looks as you're just like, "Hello, Chesterfields. Pleasure to meet me."
Pleasure to meet you all. Take me to your leader, I believe is a saying I could implement at this time.
There's some very confused looks exchanged before a kind of like skinny buff half-elf stands up. He's in kind of like half plate almost, so he's got like the breastplate, the gauntlets, but it's like shoulderless, sleeveless, and he's just kind of puts the helmet down on this like canvas bed that he was sat on. He just, "I'll take you to the commanding officer."
That sounds like a plan.
"Why?"
Well, there's been a murder.
And immediately they're all like out of attention. "A murder?"
Yeah, several attempted murders by a religious fellow, and then an actual murder done, well, by us.
It wasn't self-defense. You had to win.
Oh, yeah, self-defense. I forgot to mention. That was very important to mention. Thank you, sir.
Make a persuasion check, because there's like hands halfway towards weapons when you're like, "And there was another murder, and we did that one."
Self-defense, did I mention? 13.
I mean, technically, you are kind of telling the truth. They did draw weapons on you first.
They were trying to kill people in the town. So we
Also
were
that.
trying to
Kill you.
True.
self-defending the town.
That's what I'm
You know
saying.
what,
Like, there's the element of truth to it because there's all of that, but also like Chester's there, like, yeah, I mean, we tied up a dude and killed him.
My friends raise a valid question here.
But,
There's been multiple murder attempts in your town, and you guys are all just sitting here putting your helmets on beds.
And he just, I'll lead you into our commanding officer.
Well, I think that would be best.
And he kind of leads you through this kind of rest area, and reaches a door with a little kind of frosted window in it, and just knocks on it, and there's a pause and a enter. And he heads inside, kind of stands to attention, snaps a quick salute, and he says, Officer Aronath, there are... did everyone else follow Chester, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Presumably. Cool.
Yeah, we do, but Linger hangs towards the back because reasons.
Mira has jumped on Warden's back.
Spell the officer's name.
Yep. Here's it. So it's officer.
Officer?
Aronath.
Traditional spelling, officer.
Yes. So
Okay.
Aron for November, ATH.
Okay, thank you. There's no crazy like European U anywhere in there, right?
No.
Okay.
Like
You haven't
color.
got his first name yet, but you have his last name. He is Commanding Officer Aronath. I know you're skeptical because I often like to throw a bunch of accents on everything to make it look all nice and fantasy.
Calm down, Tolkien.
Yeah.
And you see as you kind of there's 4 individuals with me. They say there's been a killing, a murder, and several other attempts at murder within the town. One apparently perpetrated by them, but they claim self-defense.
It was self-defense.
She says from the back of Warden.
We have an abundance of evidence.
It's like, yeah, let's see, he has a knife, pulls up the head with him.
And
No.
and the figure kind of behind the desk just, well, if there's evidence, that certainly helps things. And he stands up and, you're dismissed, Commander. And this half-elf who led you in, yes, sir, salutes and leaves back through the door. And you see as this commanding officer stands up in, you see kind of like pretty much full, not quite full plate, but still kind of like full armor. Very much more protected and covered than the other one was. And you can see a similar but much more resplendent and protective helmet with a somewhat similar visor to Warden is on the desk within arm's reach as he stands up. Kind of light blue skin and this kind of like sea green hair. Very obviously a Triton for those who might have potentially encountered one before. He kind of stands up, he's about 6'3" from your best guesses. Kind of like the shoulder length hairs. He stands up and just kind of adjusts the eye patch over his right eye, folds his arms and, so, your names?
Chester Fields, pleased to meet you.
Chester Fields.
I'm Mira. Hi.
Mira.
Linger. Rip.
Linger.
Warden.
She like taps him on the shoulder.
Warden.
Oh, I think he's frozen.
I was gonna say if your camera's not frozen, that was a good trick. Yeah.
He just like he looks.
Is Mara still on Warren's back?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. What?
What's your? You got to tell them your name.
Warden.
Warden.
This is Warden. He's one of my best friends.
They're all my best friends now.
I see. Well,
We are friends.
We're best friends.
I'm the commanding officer of these barracks and of this town. I'm Commander Jazas Aranath.
Bless you.
Ass?
Yeah, Jazas.
Jazz
I-
ass. Got
Jazz
it.
ass.
I stumbled over it the first time, and now you're just going to
No,
call
it's
me
Jazz
Jazz from now on. He he kind of just, as he's like drawing himself up and introducing himself. 10th Knight of the Kingdom of Jura, sent here to uphold the laws and holdings of the Kingdom of Jura. Within this holding, so this evidence.
Ah, well, sir, first and foremost, are you aware that there has been a cult infiltrating your town, sowing discord and trying to burn the very populace alive?
No, but we had our eyes on the few individuals who had started spouting nonsense about burning townsfolk.
Do you realize they were going to do that today? That they had started doing that? They were going to burn people now if we hadn't stopped it. Like this, in this moment, in an alternate timeline, people would currently be burning alive if we had not stopped it.
Well, we had been led to believe this was happening as part of the monthly ritual.
You were going to let them burn people as part of the monthly?
Absolutely not. But
Well, it was going to be happening.
we were making plans to mobilize and to be
You did a bad job.
in and around the townsfolk for when it was supposed to occur.
Well, it, again, would have been happening right this very moment.
You're not very timely, are you?
Chester,
of
would you mind
raises-
showing him the letter?
An eyebrow at Mira.
She's
Exhibit A. And he hands over the letter.
Thank you. Takes it. Gives it a quick
Exhibit
read.
B would be any number of the townspeople who were running around screaming that human sacrifices were going to begin any moment.
See, we had heard the commotion and were...
You were mobilizing, yes.
It's all tracks to linger. She's a world of idiots. World of idiots.
This is...
She breathes only to sigh.
This is more troubling than we'd thought. As far as it had been so far, it had been the ramblings of 4 idiots, mostly, who didn't really pose much threat to anyone.
Good news, 3 of them are still available for interrogation.
Excellent. And the 4th, presumably, is the one who was attempting to do the burning and subsequently attacked you and was subsequently murdered.
Correct.
Yeah, the leader, the sower of dissent.
We in the army prefer killed when it's justified or self-defense. Murder is very much more generally reserved for I snuck into his room and murdered him in his sleep. But
We
whilst
liberated
obviously-
him from his mortal coil for you.
Yes. Whilst obviously we would have preferred to interrogate him ourselves. I can understand if you thought it necessary and that lives were at risk. That the most immediate and effective way to protect would be to end a necessary life. So you have our thanks.
You're so welcome.
And how exactly is it that you found yourselves so conveniently nearby?
We walked there.
We were staying at the tavern, the crusty bucket or whatever it is.
It is now. Crusty
Why not?
Yeah.
bucket.
Yeah, the crispy chicken.
And you just happened to be in town when this was occurring.
Well, we've been here several days, so it would seem so.
And what exactly was
Right
it that
place
brought you
at the
here?
right time.
And what brought you here?
Fate.
Oh, we were
Wait.
here to do something.
My feet.
Yes, this town was closer than Dura from where we were traveling from, so it seemed logical to stop here on our way, well, to figure out where we want to go next.
See, I'm more willing to accept that than just someone shouting fate.
No, I said feet.
No, the bugbear said fate.
Oh, right. I thought he said feet as well.
Mitch, were we here to like do we were here like
Yes,
to help?
the Midnight
Were we
Blade
here to do
had been discussing sending people to assist with the ritual to ward away the spirits and protect,
Yeah.
if need be, from any spirits that might manifest. It was very much a, we're going to send you guys because we're still not sure if you're cool, and there probably aren't any evil spirits, but if there are and you kill them, great. If there are and they kill you,
Also great.
like, we send the new guys to do this because you're probably just going to be sat there for like a week doing nothing.
And when I say fate, I of course mean we were sent by the Midnight Blades. And he pulls forth a badge, either that he was given or one that he fashioned on the journey here.
If you have a badge, it would definitely be one that you fashioned. You were given
It is one that
a
I
piece of
fashioned.
paper to serve as a temporary standing because you haven't been
He has that for
formally accepted into the guild. And the officer looks at the badge and raises a questioning eyebrow at you. I will say, give me a dexterity check to see how well crafted this badge is.
Could you sleight of hand? Or just a straight dex?
I'll say straight dex. I usually use for
It's not as
crafting. Are
good.
you
Just
proficient
21.
in woodworking or anything? Well, it's a 21 anyway, who cares?
Cartographer's tools.
So you can make a
Got
real
you.
good map.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, with the 21, it's pretty
Disguise
well made.
kit.
But even still, what have you made it out of?
One is a piece of an old tinder box.
Gotta love those fucking tinder boxes, am I right?
That really can use these for anything. Tinder box, some wood, a couple ball bearings. It's real nice
So
looking.
definitely very much more obviously makeshift than the actual Midnight Blade.
Does it look
sigils
like a
and whatnot.
hammer on it?
I also have this piece of paper that says I'm an honorary member.
He holds out a hand for the piece of paper.
Oh, you really? Okay, well, okay. I thought the badge would be fine. Here you go.
And he looks over it. Excuse me. He looks over it and kind of takes it in for a moment before. Signed by Raven Flame himself. Fair enough.
A good friend.
Quick check to see if he sees any forgery. Notices no sign of forgery. Because someone can just rock up and be like, hey, I got this from the leader of the guild, and it could be a forgery. And he hands it back to you and just, very well, that's fair enough. I did not realize, forgive me, that I was stood in front of an honorary member or two thereof of the Midnight Blade.
You are
It's
forgiven.
the lack of leathers and clothing and related badge specifically given by the guild, but honorary and temporary letter puts it a bit more in perspective. My apologies.
You are forgiven, sir.
And these individuals you apprehended and the body, where are they?
The individuals, and here we'll say the building he put those in, and the body is in this building here.
I see. Well, thank you. I will send my men to collect them and interrogate those who can be interrogated and dispose of the other.
Yes. I should warn, he doesn't have a head. Or rather, he does, it's just not attached to his body.
That's no issue. We will disseminate the information across the town that his life was taken when he attempted to take the lives of others for his sacrifices that were not needed and very much watched cautiously by the town as a whole. So it's not entirely unreasonable that someone might assume he pulled a sword on someone and had to be put down.
Thank you, sir. You're most kind.
I do try.
Nameless cultist guy didn't kill himself.
Chopped off his own head. It was the craziest thing.
He was just like, you'll never take me alive. Ah!
He fell right on the axe.
Fell on her own shears, she dead.
It was the craziest thing.
God rest her.
While we have you, perhaps we could discuss another matter going on in this town that a party here might address. Specifically, that of a haunted house, potentially.
Moss Point Manor, I assume.
That is the one. Now, I am curious, is this a sort of situation where if we spend the night there, then we get to keep the house?
No.
What?
That happens down the road. Different country, Skyrim.
Very well.
No,
Flips through her book. I have no record of this place.
that is most certainly
to D&D too.
a building very much owned by its current occupants. Often stayed in by it's used as a center and hub of studying often. So any hopefuls among the town who might leave for study elsewhere, or perhaps entry into the King's Court, or any of the other courts of the major holdings, or bigger towns and cities, they often will live and study in Moss Point Manor.
Interesting. A place of learning, you say? Well.
Yes.
Can you tell us about these hauntings, perhaps?
I can indeed. It's, for the most part, it was nothing more than the usual insomnia, nightmares that many seem to fall victim to around a certain time of year, when the time for the ritual draws near, and they perform the ritual to drive it off. It's been happening a lot more recently. Many of my men have been complaining of similar insomnia, similar nightmares. But everyone staying at Moss Point Manor seems to have been hit somewhat harder than the rest of the town. They've become somewhat more reclusive. There's been more ranting and raving from those who have lived there.
A maniac mansion, perhaps.
It's obviously finals week. Insomnia, high stress, ranting.
Those of you who said you had been here a few days had probably then no doubt heard of Almos, who unfortunately took his own life recently, who was complaining of whispers in his ear, nightmares worse than anyone else. He hadn't slept for weeks, hadn't eaten properly for days, and in the days leading up to it hadn't eaten at all.
I think if the whispers in his ears linger side eyes, Rip. I have no idea what that's like.
Rip shrugs.
Yeah.
Well, just out of curiosity, should we find the source of this evil presence, this presence that has turned your citizens into mindless zombies?
Not necessarily mindless zombies, just very tired, very irate townsfolk.
Mindless zombie sounds better. I'm not going to quibble. However, speaking of quibbling, perhaps...
If you do manage to find the source of this...
yes.
If there is indeed a source at all, we do often tend to find that around ritual times, everyone seems to just blindly follow the masses, and it's that sort of herd mentality, and once one person stops sleeping, they keep other people up, and that's generally how the insomnia and nightmares tend to spread. But if there is something more to it, which, of course, we are also investigating, but if you manage to come to any conclusions before we do, or indeed put it to rest before we are able to, then I see no reason we couldn't send word to the kingdom and arrange some form of reward for you.
Oh,
Very well.
what kind of reward?
A crisp high five. No.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
No, I definitely require gold.
Depending on what sort of rewards you would hope for, we can certainly arrange a small sum of gold or equivalents thereof. If there's specifics you might need, we could potentially see if that could be sent down from the Kingdom of Jura, or just a sum of gold in and of itself that you can do with what you will.
I seek fame and fortune, so if you got any of that laying around...
Well, you'll certainly become famous in town.
That's a start. He'll look to his new companions. Well, what do you all say? Shall we solve the mystery of the haunted mansion?
I do quite like the challenge. I think that would be interesting. I certainly am curious about the study materials available at this manor. And every time you say haunted, Rip like wiggles his arms up in the air. He's being spooky.
Amazing.
Should we craft a list to provide for our inevitable success so that you can go ahead and send off to Jura so that things are waiting for us?
He kind of chuckles when you say inevitable success. I see no reason why not. And if it's within our power to provide and it's proportional to the help received.
I mean, saving generations from whatever this is that has been happening. I can't imagine that's a small feat.
Yeah.
Well, these hauntings and rumors of hauntings are no stranger and no new story in the town of Belcrest.
Exactly.
I mean,
So
it's...
vanquishing a historical threat should be impressive.
Well, I mean, what's been happening recently does not seem to be anything anywhere near similar to the traditions which, at this point, we have been led to believe are no more than simply just tradition at this point. There are no actual hauntings. It all sort of surrounds the gallows tree where we used to hang criminals back in the day, and everyone believes that this ironwood tree that's long dead now is haunted by the ghosts of the thieves and the murderers that hung from it. But in recent months, we've had our suspicions that something more nefarious has been going on, given the goings-on at Moss Point Manor, and certainly in the last 2 days following what happened.
Out of character, we should go kick butt at the manor and then come back to the tree and do a seance.
Ooh, I love that.
Speak with dead.
Yeah.
I'll get my Ouija board.
Excellent. Well, I'll add it to the list of rewards. We need a Ouija board.
There's not usually too much to note in Belcrest. It's a somewhat small backwater lumber town for the most part. Really,
Does explain all the axes.
the main major points of interest are the gallows tree, of course. There's the ruins of Valley Tower, which a lot of people believe also to be haunted, but that's just a tower that crumbled a long time ago, and we've investigated it thoroughly and found no such evidence of hauntings or the like. Of course, more pragmatically and potentially the most useful of our major points of interest in town would be the clock tower, which there's some of the dwarves long ago had constructed a rather large monolith of stone, and then a elven wizard, Valley, funnily enough, had constructed a magical clock and set it into this stone, and it's kept perfect time ever since. It's quite convenient. Everyone else is still using sundials.
Curious.
I've never seen a clock in my life.
All right. When he says Valley, funny enough, is that a name that's supposed to ring bells?
Well, it's because he was just saying the ruins of Valley Tower.
Valley Tower. Sorry, I was trying to write everything, but
No, it's all good. Actually, Linger, give me an intelligence or history.
history. 22.
22. Real snobbish guy, Valley. Real up himself wizard from Thistlewood. You met him once or twice. Bit of a dick.
Yeah. Probably
Very
has
much was friends with your mentor, and that says a lot about him.
Then she just huffs and crosses her arms and mumbles something about how the back of the clock face probably has his own image engraved on it or something.
Yeah, like it's the kind of thing of like when he'd said Valley Tower, you were like, I mean, there's probably a lot of people named Valley, and then when he says, like, elven wizard long ago, you're like, how many elven wizards can there be named Valley unless he's naming all his kids after himself, which is possible.
Yeah.
Big George Foreman energy.
Valley the 18th. But yeah. He just kind of, like, sits on the edge of his long desk, kind of crosses his arms. But yes, if you do think you'll be able to investigate this and find the source of, if there is a actual haunting going on at Moss Point Manor, then do feel free.
Then I think we should.
We're not
sorry,
free,
Chester.
but we will feel, yes.
I think that is what we shall do then. We shall give you a list of things that we need because Linger said so, and then we'll go to the house. The scary house.
She's like trying to clamber up a little bit more onto Warden.
Sliding
so she can,
down
like,
his back.
Yes.
Oh man.
Does he even know that she's there?
I mean, you did talk to him, so
So he does. He just doesn't care.
yeah.
I love it.
It is what it is.
She wraps her legs around his chest.
Then,
If you head to the north of town, it is just slightly off the outskirts of town, Moss Point Manor. Somewhat in the forest, you can't miss it. It's the huge lumber building, funnily
With
enough,
the sign?
with moss all over it. Can't think how they got the name. But yes, there is a sign for Moss Point Manor.
Very good, very good.
convenient.
Very.
Then,
All right, well, shall we depart?
I think so. Let's go.
She like
Excellent.
stays on Warden's back.
Yeah. We can like hand wave that they step aside. Linger writes out the list. We leave said list over the week. We can just make
remember.
said list.
The Kingdom of Jura will keep an eye out on you.
Rhymes with Mira. Oh.
Very good, Mira.
Thanks. I tried my best. It took me so long to get figure that out.
Cool. So, with that, as you depart and write your list and return it to this small garrison,
Yeah.
we will leave it there as you start heading towards Moss Point Manor. As we have now
Yay.
thoroughly begun Chapter 1, The Haunting of Moss Point Manor. Whoa! Crazy!
Whoa.
And we got to do murder. Oh, great.
Yeah, murder!
Ooh, glad I got that out of my system.
Yeah.
Yes, I won't be able to murder for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
if it
cultist
stood down
isn't coming back.
originally, would have been fine. But they bucked up. So, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
what you gonna do?
And, you know, now the cultist isn't coming back for Sands of Syldaris 2.
Exactly. I don't like loose ends.
Well,
We'll murder all of your NPCs.
with that, thank you, everyone who came by to watch while I push OBS to another monitor. And let's have a look what went down during the stream. Thanks, everyone who came to watch. Thank you, Widermat, I hope. Sorry if I've butchered your Twitch name, but thanks for the follow. Thank you. And Percy, thank you. And Nerd Rock from the Sun, thank you for the follow. Awesome name. And Steph, thank you for the bits. And Max, thank you for the bits. That was 2 days ago. Cool. And thanks to everyone who came by to watch, and those of you who are watching for the first time, and those of you who are new. And we will hopefully see you all next week. No, the week after next, because we're every other week now. I was just used to saying that from when we were doing the one-shots. We are... My mic just fell. I don't know if that was visible. It just dropped. But yes, the official campaign is every other week. So we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Same practical time, same practical channel. What was I about to say? I was about to say something else. Yes. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next time. Goodbye.